your quote is, "Not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen to be put down. No country, no party, no voice." I thought it was brilliant. Alan Bennett, 1982 would have been. Is that when the Falcons was? I've got Alan Bennett diaries, 1980 to 1989. I'm that kind of posh, silly old git that listens to that kind of stuff, and absolutely love it. And he was talking about the Falklands War and the jubilation over the Falklands War and all that kind of stuff. And but I kind of it really rang with me. Not English, I feel now. He expressed it as poets and writers and playwrights and authors and men and women of words often do. He expressed in that short 2 sentences a feeling that I've had for ages and ages and ages and ages, and I've not been able to express it. I've kind of toyed with it a little bit on the radio show and tried to convey it, but I've not been able to convey it as succinctly as this. Not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen to be put down. No country, no party, no church, no voice. Isn't that good? This is just where I happen to be put down. And it kind of ties in with the Will Storr book I'm reading. He's got a new book coming out called Selfie. It's brilliant. And it's about how a lot of what we think is right and a lot of what we think about ourselves and how we perceive ourselves in the world around us is to do with where we're born. And we get a lot of our stories of, a lot of our sense of self and of what is important from Greek mythology. And if you compare it with, because all the Greek mythology, it's normally one person, a hero that suffers a great loss, goes on a journey, goes through several tasks, and comes out at the end a better person and a more heroic person, and in love and happy. And it stems from Greek mythology, and it goes all the way up to modern films. You watch Star Wars, that's what Star Wars is. Luke Skywalker, isn't it? He's an orphan, and then he goes through some bad stuff, and he comes out at the end, and he's heroic. But if you compare that with Chinese culture, they have a completely different view on things. Their stories and their perception of the world around them is not based on the self, it's based on the group, the whole society, groups of people. And we'll get, when I finish the book, Will's going to come on and talk about it. It's a bit of a trawl, but it's a cracking read. And Will compares, if there's a story of a murderer, right, if there's a newspaper story about a murderer, the newspaper will say, what a bad person. They did this bad thing. And you will get phone-in hosts doing phone-ins on, is there such a thing as evil? Is this person evil? Whereas in China and other parts of the Far East, they will look at society's role in this. They will say, someone kills someone, they will look at whether that murderer had just got sacked from work, or whether that murderer had just been dumped by his wife, or whether that murderer had just lost a child, or something like that. They will, instead of looking at the person, the individual, they will take a step back and look at the things around them. Isn't that interesting? It's really interesting. And it's all because of where we happen to be born. We've had a few extreme Christians on the show recently. Paul and Ken, I'm thinking of in particular. And both gentlemen are extremely anti-Muslim to the point of it, being bigoted and obnoxious. And I would say that their hatred of Islam is as strong as, and what they were saying is as strong as what some of the hate preachers who are Muslim are saying. But the only reason that those gentlemen and others like them are Christian is because of where they happen to be born, because they're born on this rock. That's it. That's the only reason that Christian families, you grow up and you have kids and they become Christians and they grow up and they have kids and they become... Because we were born here. I kind of broke the cycle. My mum was a little bit Christian, a little bit. She was a Sunday school teacher, but a little bit. And I went to Sunday school and Wednesday club, but I kind of broke the cycle. But had I been born in Pakistan, I'd probably be a Muslim. Had I been born in India, I'd probably been a Sikh. And I would have seen... If I'd been a Sikh, I would have perceived the Muslims and the Christians as being wrong. If I'd been born a Muslim, I'd perceive the Christians and the Sikhs and the Buddhists as being wrong. Here's an interesting thing. They did studies with Japanese children and English children. This is all from Will's book. And I'm really pleased I'm remembering it, because it's quite a heavy read, right? And up until about the age of 3, Japanese children and English children, maybe they're American, they draw the same pictures. They draw the same kind of pictures. And then from about the age of 3 or 4, the pictures go off in different directions, but they follow cultural norms. So English and American kids' pictures will be the same, and Japanese and Chinese kids' pictures will be the same. In as much as, right, you get a kid of about 5 to draw a picture of a house on a house on a street and the sun, right? And they will always, and I'd never thought of this until I saw it, they'll always do the horizon quite low down, won't they? The ground will be quite low down on the picture, near the bottom, and the sky will be really high up at the top. They don't do that, Japanese kids. They don't do that. Their ground is kind of more to the middle of the picture. Now, it's a tiny, tiny thing, but it just shows that the way we perceive things, the way we look at things, is dependent on where we were born. 0344 499 1000. They did studies where they showed a tank of fish to some Americans and a tank of fish to some Chinese and some Japanese. And then they said to the Americans, can you describe what you've seen? And the Americans would describe the fish. They would describe the fish. The Chinese and the Japanese would describe everything that was in the tank, and they would get to the fish about 5th or 6th on the list. They'd say there were rocks there, and there was a little thing that was water, and there was a fake crab, and there was a bench, and then there was some fish. Whereas we focus on the fish. What is the point I'm getting to? I don't know. I've not read the book. So I've not finished the book, so I can't quite tell you. But it ties in, I think, maybe I'm trying to join up too many dots, but it ties in with not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen to be put down. Everything that we perceive as being right and holy and true and correct and morally upstanding, it's just because we were born here and because our mum and dad told us things and their mum and dad told them things. And we watched programmes growing up like Knight Rider. You know, that Knight Rider. There you go. There's an example. Knight Rider. It's one man who believed that one man could make a difference. Same journey. He started off, he got shot in the face. First actor to play Michael Knight wasn't David Hasselhoff. He got shot in the face, had plastic surgery, and then went on to solve crimes and things. One man. The hero of one man. You don't get that in the East. It's a Western thing, and it's traceable back to Greek mythology. So we get our ideas of what is right and what is morally acceptable through watching films and stuff and reading books and the stories that have been passed down. You can break it down a bit more. You know, it was legal to have sex with 13-year-olds in Spain until fairly recently. I think they changed it about 10 years ago. I think it was recent, certainly within living memory. And that was the cultural norm, it was okay to have sex with 13-year-olds. It was okay. And I think once they joined Europe kind of, the EU went, that 13-year-old sex thing, I think you're going to have to do a little bit of work on that, guys, and just up the age limit a bit. I think there are still some countries in Europe where it's 15 is the legal age. And it's perceived as, it's just the way it is. Now, I'm not, of course, arguing that we should be having sex with 13-year-olds. I'm not Milo, for crying out loud. I'm just saying that the way we perceive things, the concepts we have of faith and of God, and all of these things, comes from the fact we were born here. It's just chance. It's just chance. Not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen to be put down. And I've tried to express this before, by saying, again, this is me being ham-fisted, but I feel no pride for this country. I feel no pride for it. When we were doing well at the Olympics, when I was doing a radio show, people would say, oh, I feel so proud of those Olympians. Why? Why? It's just a mathematical quirk of fate that I was born within, the 300-mile radius of them. That's all. It's just luck. It's not luck. It's coincidence. It's coincidence that I was born on the same bit of rock as Greg Rutherford. So why should I feel pride about that? Why should I feel proud about something people on this bit of rock achieve? I don't feel English. Now, there will be members of the audience listening to this who will interpret this as some kind of far right, I don't feel English walking down my high street because of all the brown people. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. It's nothing to do with colour, nothing to do with other people's religions, nothing to do with languages. It doesn't make it, which is why I'm not that bothered about immigration, because I don't see this as my country. Get out of my country. I was just born on this bit of rock, and some of it is good, and some of it sucks. But if I'd been born in Iran, I would probably think the same. Some of it's good and some of it sucks. If I'd been born in Pakistan, some of it's good, some of it sucks. And if I'd been born in Pakistan, I'd think some of the stuff we do over here is ridiculous, and some of it looks quite cool. I'm not really sure if I'm going anywhere with this. I'm probably not. 0344 499 1000. I'm just reading this Will Storr book, and that line from Alan Bennett just jumped out at me. So much so, I'm listening to it in the car, so much so that about 2 hours after I got home, it was still dancing around in my head, and I was starting to misquote it. So I had to go back and sit back in the car and try and find the bit so I could listen to it again. Not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen to be put down. No country, no party, no voice. It's good, isn't it? I don't feel English. I don't think I've ever felt English. I've certainly never felt pride in this country. People will say, oh, you're a Ramona and you're talking the country down. No, not at all. I'm a human being and I'm being honest with you. I don't feel English. 0344 499 1000. This is kind of a tough one because I'm struggling to get my head around it. So you're probably struggling to get your head around what I'm struggling to get you dig? Good. Right. Well, you can have fun with this, or not. Let's see. 0344. So, I was brought up Church of England. I was christened, baptised. I don't quite know if there's a difference at all. And then I went to Sunday school, and I went to Wednesday club, and went to church occasionally. But then you kind of got to 10, 11, 12, probably 11 and 12, and thought, nah, load of old nonsense, isn't it? Load of old nonsense. There's no such thing as God. Jesus probably did exist, but it was, his role has been hyped up over the years, and as things often do, they get exaggerated as stories get told. And the Bible was written by men in about the 13th century. All of this kind of stuff. And then we've had some calls recently that have made me stop and think. That have made me think, well, these people are so adamant that they're right and I am wrong and Muslims are wrong and Sikhs and Buddhists are wrong and Jews are wrong. These people are so fervent in their belief that maybe they're onto something. How could anyone be as convinced as some of the callers that we've had recently about the existence of a supreme being, of a higher power? How could anyone be so convinced and have not put in the research, have not put in the legwork, because you don't accept this stuff blindly, do you? You look into it. You read into it. And if there is one true God, then it probably is a white Christian God, and the other gods are either false idols or non-existent or evil. So it's really had me scratching my head a little bit, thinking about this. And I've been doing some reading and some soul searching. And I've come to the conclusion there must be a white Christian God. And Jesus probably was his son. And he died on the cross for our sins. And I have been a sinner. I am sinful. I have lusted. I have had sex outside of wedlock. I've taken drugs. I have got excessively drunk. I have gambled. I have lied. I have done all of these things that we are not supposed to do. And do you know what? I feel miserable. I feel very, very unhappy. And it's been pointed out to me on the show a couple of times that perhaps the reason I'm depressed, perhaps the reason I'm unhappy is because I am leading a sinful life and I have not invited Lord Jesus Christ into my heart, into my soul, and asked for forgiveness. So that's what I did today. I got on my knees and I prayed and I invited Jesus into my heart. And you know what? I felt better. I felt better as a direct result of doing that. This was about 3:00 this afternoon. Since then, I have not had sex. I have not taken drugs or had any alcohol. I have not coveted my neighbour's ass. I haven't done any of these things. And I feel all right. I feel all right. God is real. God exists, and I can prove it. Science has proved that there is a God as well. This is true. I was looking online and reading through some bits and pieces because you want to research these things. And I vaguely remember a story earlier on this year that I saw in one of the newspapers, and I found it from January, the end of January. Scientists, this is for all you science buffs out there who say, well, there can't be a God because science disproves it. Well, that's completely wrong. Scientists use mathematical calculations to prove the existence of God. This is from The Express on January the 23rd of this year. Scientists have confirmed the existence of God after proving a mathematician's theory which suggests there is a higher power. So, everybody who argues, and I used this argument before in the past, everybody who argues, well, there can't be a God because science. How do you explain science? Science proves there is no God. Au contraire, science proves there is a God. We read a bit more of the story. 2 computer scientists have proved that there is a holy, supreme force after confirming the equations. In 1978, this is a real story, mathematician Kurt Gödel died and left behind a long and complex theory based on modal logic. Dr. Gödel's model, hang on a minute, let me say that again. Dr. Gödel's model uses mathematical equations that are extremely complicated. But the essence is that no greater power than God can be conceived, and if he or she is believed as a concept, then he or she can exist in reality. And then it goes on and explains the theory. But scientists have proved the existence of God. Have a look around you. Have you ever looked at a flower? I cut the lawn on Sunday, and we had some tulips growing. And the cable got caught around some tulips, and the head of a tulip came off. And I picked it up and I looked at it. Have you ever looked at it? Have you ever looked at a tulip? Have you held a tulip, right, in your hand and looked at it? How can you tell me that that's just an accident, that that's a quirk of fate, that just by chance a tulip existed? And then you look inside the tulip and it's got the pollen, right? You're telling me it's an accident that a tulip exists and looks the way it does, looks incredible, and there are little things in there with pollen on, and that by coincidence and by accident and by a quirk of fate, a little thing called a bee was created, and the bee flies around and it gets the pollen on its legs and it goes... You're telling me that's an accident? That just happened? Come on. When you look at something like that, it becomes obvious that was created, designed, built by a higher power, by something more powerful than us. That was designed. That was made. And that's just a tulip in the garden. Have a look at everything else. Go and look at a tree. Flipping heck. A tree. You cut a tree, it bleeds. You know that, don't you? You cut a tree and sap comes out. It bleeds, right? To protect itself and heal it up. Heal up and thing. You're telling me that's because 600 billion years ago there was nothing and then there was an explosion. You're telling me that just happened? That's trees are a coincidence? Because if it had just happened, how come there aren't, like, half-formed sort of bushes and things that look really ugly and don't really serve any purpose? Everything serves a purpose. Everything looks like it's designed. The question, the point that really got me thinking the other day, and it's that common argument that I used to use. Aha. But what about drowning children? What about babies with cancer? You know, that terrible story, we talked about it last week, that baby, Charlie. Remember we had a woman phone up who was raising money for Charlie. Well, in the High Court today, the judge has said that he is giving Great Ormond Street Hospital permission to turn off his life support machine. And people will look at instances like that and say, well, that can't be a God. There can't be a God because of that. Well, moving that child to one side and looking at the general picture, the starving children, you can answer that easily. That's because we have free will. That's because we have choice. That's because God has given us the gift, or is it the curse, of free will. We have enough food on this planet to feed everybody. Everybody could have enough food to eat if we chose to do so. God has provided for us enough food and water and shelter for everybody. The reason that there are kids starving in Ethiopia, the reason there are kids starving in the Sudan, it's because of us. It's because of us. It's because of you. The reason there are kids starving in the Sudan is because of you. It's a challenge. It's a test from God. And you're failing at it. You are allowing children in the Sudan to starve to death. Don't even get me started on child labour. I bought some really cheap... I bought some clothes. I bought some clothes today. There's a shop that I go to, and every now and then I get an email saying discount. And today it said 20% off sale price. I went, oh, I'll go in there and have a look. And I bought two nice tops. I'll wear one tomorrow. In my head, when I bought it, it's going to make me look like an 18-year-old French student. You'll see it tomorrow, Catherine, when I wear it. It's going to make me look like an 18... I thought, oh, but that's nice. And I bought another top, collarless kind of T-shirt thing. Yes, stripes. And I got these two tops. They were reduced, and I got them with all the discounts and the sale. I got them 15 quid the pair. 15 quid the pair. And I got them home, and they're made in Vietnam. Made in Vietnam. Quite possibly by kids. Quite possibly by kids getting 10 pence an hour. Your smartphone. Your trainers. Made by kids. Made by kids. And there goes my phone buzzing now. Made by kids. For 10 pence an hour. Kids in awful conditions. Do you remember, was it in, somewhere in India? Maybe it was Bangladesh. Do you remember that factory about 4 years ago? It was a factory where they were making clothes, for various high street stores. And it collapsed. The whole building collapsed. And, about 150 people died. It was one of those things where, 3 or 4 days later, they were still pulling women and children out of the rubble. That's for your cheap clothes. People are dying so that you can afford trainers. People are going blind. Kids are going blind because they are having to study things that are so small, working 10 pence an hour, so that you can have the latest, smartphone watch type. That's what we're doing. So you talk about kids starving in the Sudan. You talk about kids suffering in India. You talk about, it was Bangladesh, look, 117 dead in 2012. You talk about, child labour, child slave labour. It's your fault. God has given us a choice. And we have chosen the route that exploits and punishes children. Kids dying of illnesses. Sad, of course it's sad. But who are we to say that that's not their purpose? That their purpose is to exist, to get ill, and to pass on to a better life. It sounds harsh and it sounds cruel. And 2 days ago I would have felt terrible saying that. Today I can see it. Today I can see it. Because all the people around that child, the parents, the siblings, the doctors, the nurses, everybody's learning a lesson from that child, from that sacrifice that child is making. They're learning stuff. We are becoming better souls because of these poor souls that don't last very long, that get an illness. And through their suffering, we learn palliative care, and we learn treatments, and we progress science, and we get further. And when those children die, they can go on and save other lives. A child dies, they can save 5 or 6 lives. Imagine that. And when they die, they, of course, go on to a better place. They go on to eternal salvation. They go on to sit closest to God himself. I can't wait to die. I don't want to die, but I can't wait to die because I know that death will be infinitely better than this place, and this place is pretty darn good. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You're what's wrong with the world. You have a chance to repent, to change your ways, and help make the world a better place. If you are of a different faith, if you're Jewish or Muslim or Sikh or Hindu or Buddhist, well, isn't it time that you realise you're worshipping the wrong God? You're worshipping the bad guys. There's only one God, and it's the Christian God. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We've got Ken on the line. Jerry's here as well. Jerry, you wanted to say something to Ken?
Yeah, Ken. Yeah, Ken.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi. I'm disabled, Mr. God. I'm disabled.
Why is Ken? Jerry's got Parkinson's. He's how old are you, Jerry? 38.
I've Parkinson's 16 years.
Right. Why? How come he's got Parkinson's, Ken? If there's a God, it's a good question.
That's a very, very important question. Now, what I'm going to say is not speaking to you, Jerry, but the fact of the matter is, when God made creation, everything was very good. But when Adam and Eve rebelled against God and refused to obey him, they ate of the forbidden fruit, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They fell into sin, and mankind was separated from God. And we have been infected by our mother and father, who are Adam and Eve. and that this world is now totally affected in every area by sin, including...
But how does sin, Ken... Now, let me interrupt, because I'm curious of this, because as I mentioned before, my mum's got MS, which is very similar disease to Parkinson's, and she got it at a young age. How does Adam and Eve, disobeying God and giving into temptation and eating the apple, how does that cause Jerry's Parkinson's and my mum's MS?
No. What was passed on was the sinful nature we've now received from our forefather, our father and mother. That we are born with an infected inner man, a sinful heart. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. We inherited that through the lineage of Adam and Eve. Now, the whole world...
The original sin.
Original sin. We are infected right from birth. But what happened is that God put a curse on the earth, sadly, but that's because of sin. God is holy, and now even the human health is affected. In fact, the Bible says the wages of sin, the reason we die is because we commit sin. The wages of sin is death. Man was not created to die.
No, in the Bible, what was Noah when he died? Noah was about 900 odd, wasn't he?
Yes, he was over 900.
Yeah.
But, Jerry, all I can say to you, Jerry, is only God can answer these things the way you would like it to be answered. My understanding is that because of sin, our health is affected and disease has come upon God's creation.
Now, Ken, you may or may not know the answer to this, I don't know. If Jerry were to become Christian and to invite Jesus into his heart, would God be able to either cure his Parkinson's, or would he make it easier for Jerry to accept his Parkinson's?
I think the latter position there would be the one to accept, Ian. But however, the main thing that God wants to heal us is our heart, the inner man. See, our hearts are deceitful and wicked, and God wants to give us a clean heart. And we only receive that when we repent of our sins sincerely to God, desiring to forsake sin, and we trust in Jesus Christ alone for salvation. Then when we do that sincerely, God gives us a new heart.
So, Jerry, you can get a new heart, but I'm afraid your knackered, wobbly arms and legs, that you're stuck with them.
Tin Man.
Say that again, Jerry.
No, the Tin Man.
The Tin Man. Yes, the Tin Man is. Many people have interpreted that story as.
He's been taken to the Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, interpretation of the Bible. Yeah. The Tin Man.
Jerry, listen, Jerry, please. Listen, life is very short. I'm 71 now. I don't have much longer to live. I'm going to die. You're going to die. The main thing is to think about eternity. There's an eternity ahead. If you will turn from sin and believe in Jesus, when you die, Jerry, you will go to be with Christ forever. Put your thoughts there.
And he won't have Parkinson's. Hang on, Jerry. He won't have Parkinson's in heaven, or will he?
No, he'll be completely healthy. We're given a new, wonderful body at the resurrection in heaven. It's going to be absolutely wonderful.
Jerry, listen, thank you for that. I'm going to say that because we'll take one more question for you, Ken, and then we'll move on. Habib's.
I have a question for you, Ian, too, please, if you don't mind.
Well, yeah, let's take this question, Ken. Then, of course, you will. And I need to have a quick word with you as well. Habiba, you're through to Ken.
Hello, Ken. I'm not taking the mick in any way. I genuinely want to know. There's three entities that kind of make up the Christian God as such, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Why do Christians worship Jesus? Why don't you just worship God? The Jews, the Sikhs, the Muslims, we all follow one God. Why is there three different entities, or two different entities, to reach the third one, which is God? Why don't you just worship God? Why worship Jesus?
Well, that's a good question, Aviva. The answer is the Bible reveals there is one true living God. The God of Israel is the one true living God. But the Bible reveals that God in heaven is triune. God is one spirit, but he consists of three persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God is triune in nature. And God the Father has sent his Son Jesus to die for us, and the Holy Spirit, and raise him from the dead, and the Holy Spirit points us to Jesus for forgiveness. So God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit are involved in salvation, but there's only one true living God who loves us. But he is holy, and our sin separates us, Aviva, from him. So for you and I to get reconciled to God, we must deal with the sin problem, be honest, admit our sin to God, and ask forgiveness.
Right, and so you do that through Jesus.
Hang on, Habiba, calm down. There's less of the attitude.
Through Jesus. Speak to him.
So you never actually directly pray to God. You always pray through Jesus to get to God.
Well, Jesus said, no man cometh unto the Father but by me. That's
right, I'm with you.
Does that clear things up for you, Habiba?
It does indeed. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Habiba. Ken, you want to... Go on, you want to toss me a question, Ken? Go on, she's gone now.
All right. Ian. Listen, Ian, I appreciate you taking time to allow me to speak here. But you said that today... Were you joking when you said you knelt down and you prayed and you asked God to forgive you?
No. I knelt down and I prayed and I asked God to forgive me.
Wonderful. Well, if you've done that sincerely, only God knows our heart, and you truly believe that Jesus died for your sins and rose from the dead, then God heard your prayer. If it's sincere, I don't know, you know.
Oh, listen, I am open to trying as many new experiences as possible, and I did it, Ken, and I did it, and I was sincere, and I would like to apologise for the way that I have spoken to you in the past.
No, don't worry about that, Ian. Don't worry about that. That was wonderful. Have you prayed that? I've been praying for you, and I'm sure that other Christians who listen to the show who pray for you, James Whale, Asher, and the folk. We love folk. All we're trying to do is...
Did you say the Pope?
Other folk.
Oh, I thought you said James Whale, Asher, and the Pope. I thought flipping heck.
But listen,
yes.
See, I am a sinner saved by the grace of God. I'm not better than anybody. Now that I've received my forgiveness by the grace of God through Jesus, all I want to do now is tell others they can also receive the same grace and forgiveness and be reconciled to God and get to heaven when they die instead of going to hell.
Ken, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us, and we'll speak again soon.
God bless you, Ian, and everyone listening. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye. We've got Satdev, we've got Graham lined up. You can join us as well. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give me a call. God is real, God is love. Phone up and tell me why I'm wrong. Garth was waiting, wasn't he? Good evening, Garth.
Good evening, Iain Lee. How the devil are you?
I'm very, very well, Garth, thank you.
Oh, great.
Have we spoken before?
No, I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, I just thought I recognised your voice, the slightly limp-sounding voice, but OK, that's great.
How dare you?
Huh?
Just a quick question for you, Ed.
Yes, Garth.
Am I safe disposing of nail clippings down the toilet?
Nail clippings down the what, sorry?
The toilet.
One more time?
Toilet.
The toilet?
Yeah.
I don't know what a toilet is. It's an Irish toilet. He's in a toilet. Toilet.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the lavatory.
Okay. Why do you ask?
Where else could I possibly put them?
On the bedside table? Or do what I do with nail clippings, and excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but we talk openly about all kinds of issues. Bogies is I just lie in bed and I flick them as far as I can, and as long as they don't land on the wall, I'm happy.
No, it's very, very queer that you mention bogies.
Yes.
Because why is it only some kids that pick their nose and eat it?
I've never, ever eaten it. I cannot think of much. Catherine's gone for 5 minutes and we're talking about bogies. You're the steadying hand on the tiller. I'm the expert on bogies. You hold the barrel steady as we all jump in one at a time. No, I don't know. I've never eaten a bogey in my life. Have you?
Yeah, come on, everyone has.
No, I haven't. I genuinely haven't.
My youngest can't stop.
Pick it, flick it. Never.
Oh, really?
I've never eaten one, no.
Salty. That's all
we had joy, we had fun flicking bogies at the sun, but the sun got too hot and the bogies turned to snot. You ever heard that?
No!
Oh, that's good.
That's a belter. My youngest has always got a finger up her nose.
Oh, I'm always having a good route around, but they get flicked or they get wiped under the car seat, if I'm completely honest.
Wow.
And then when there's enough there, I sell the car and move on. That's when I know. Garth, have you got an over-accumulation of nail clippings then?
I've been flushing them down the toilet quite regularly.
Down the...
toilet.
Mm.
But I just am fearful that I might be causing some disruption to the U-bend.
Well... You're not... Here, let's compile...
How long are these clippings?
Let's compile a list.
They're about 7/16.
Oh, blimey.
Let's compile a list of things that should definitely not be flushed down the toilet.
My dad...
You definitely should not be flushed down the toilet.
My dad puts, like... sloppy food. Sloppy food puts down the toilet.
No.
And I only realised... It's one of those things I didn't realise wasn't normal until I lived in a shared house, and I did it one night, and someone went, oh, someone's thrown a load of chili con carne down the toilet. I was thinking, well, it's too sloppy for the bin.
It's not chili. No. Nappies, of course. Wet wipes, although I think you can get away with one every now and then.
Oh, don't put kitchen roll down it.
Again, once in a while is fine, but why? Pourquoi, Yati?
Well, my friend... my friend used to be a barman at a local pub.
You hesitated there? Was it
I was going to say barkeep, but that's more Wild West, isn't it?
Barkeep?
Yeah, barkeep.
A barkeep? That's wild English. That's nothing. It's not even a word.
Anyway,
barkeep.
Barman. And one night he said, oh, there's no loo roll left. I said, well, just use these, like paper towels.
Yeah. Well, how many did he shove down there?
Well, it was like a big, like...
Well, you shouldn't have shoved that many down.
No, he left them there for people to wipe with.
Oh.
And it ended up being, well, hellish.
No, let's not... Come on, guys.
It was awful.
Come on, guys. We're better than this.
Well, anyway. Well, if you're going to bring up toilets...
I didn't bring up toilets. Garth brought up toilets.
I did, yeah. Back to the point. Can I flush my toenail and fingernail clippings down the toilet? Yes or no?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. One more question, Ian, and to Kath.
Yes.
Separately.
Okay.
Are farts funny?
I have 2 children, 7 and 5, and they are absolutely hilarious.
But some are beyond a joke. You know what I'm talking about, really antisocial ones. That's not funny.
Why, Garth, have you just let one rip?
One more question, please. Is there a funnier word than manhole?
Flange.
Bubble.
Now, I'm not racialist, but...
Thanks for calling, Garth.
I like women with big knockers.
Okay, but I should have cut him off. So I thought he was going to I thought he was going to do the. I thought he was going to do the decent thing and put the phone down. Sorry if anybody...
No, he went there. He took it there.
I'm sorry
if anyone with small knockers is offended by that, then, I mean...
Get a Wonder Bra. Or some chicken fillets or just some tissue
No, it's
paper.
just trickery. Just love yourself. It doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Work harder.
Do you know what? Some are too big. You can have too big.
Oh, God. I remember going out with a girl who's...
Was her name Norma?
No. Oh, don't be so rude. Her initials were LSD because her parents were hippies. And she was a delightful young lady, but I would say too big in the breasticles.
Too big for what? Her or...
No, for me.
Oh.
I mean, I could have had an eye out. I know for some people that is integral, but for me that's not the key factor when I'm looking for a romantic partner.
Some of my friends have got enormous ones and they wish they didn't because it gives you backache.
Yeah.
You have to wear bigger tops than you'd like to.
Backache, neckache, some as big as your head, is as they say. Fitz is on the line. Evening, Fitz.
Ian, is that you?
Excuse me?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Is that you, Ian?
Yeah, Fitz, have you called before?
No, first time caller.
Okay, just your voice sounded vaguely familiar, but okay, go on, mate. What have you got for us?
Just one sec. Mum, I'm through. Hang up. What it is...
Was that your mum on the line upstairs?
No, we've been trying to get through all night, and I just told her I'm through now.
It's been very, very busy on the phones this evening. Very busy.
I know. What I wanted to ask you, Ian, was what's the difference between a gig and a concert?
That's an excellent thing. Excellent question. I've got a friend called Simon.
It is an excellent thing, yeah.
Who's in a band, but says he's always playing a concert. He always calls it a concert, and I like that. I don't know. I guess a concert is bigger in a bigger venue and more grand, and a gig is in a sweaty little back room somewhere in Camden.
Have you ever played a concert, Ian?
I've yes, many times. I've played some of the finest theatres in the world.
Oh, have you ever ever been to a gig or a concert?
Yes.
And left before the end?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever left before the start? Because I have.
Tell us more, Fitz.
Well, I was out with my friends to go to see a well-known singer, but we shouldn't really talk. I won't say his name because it'll darken the airwaves. But
Gary Glitter.
You've got it in one.
There we go. Ooh, a little giggle there, a little glitter giggle.
You're on fire, mate. You're on fire.
Yes.
So we went to see his Christmas special.
His Christmas gang show.
Yeah. And we all had our rubber fingers, the spongy fingers.
The spongy fingers, like that in Gladiators, yes.
Yeah. And before we came on, we had a...
I can't touch sponge. The sponge that those fingers are made from, I've never worn one of those fingers, and I can't, because I can't touch that sponge. It sets my teeth on edge. It's like biting into toothbrush or pulling cotton wool.
So what happened when you went to see Gladiators being filmed?
I didn't, but my sister worked on Gladiators, and she tells me it's one of the most miserable experiences of her life.
She's called Jet.
Yes. Yeah. Diane Udale.
That's Jet.
That's Jet. That was the name of a spin-off sitcom, which only lasted 3 episodes, I think.
Sad.
So, back to the concert.
Do you remember when Rio Ferdinand had a hidden camera trick show?
No.
Rio Ferdinand had because he was always seen as a joker. Oh. And he had a secret camera trick show where he would do tricks on like other famous footballers.
Oh, like Punked.
Yeah. But with Rio Ferdinand's Punked.
Oh dear.
He should, if he wants to do a trick, he should do something with his top lip.
I just can't comment on the poor gentleman's facial features. We all have our.
It needs molding and ironing.
Here we go. Okay, so Fitz, Gary Glitter, and you had a foam finger.
Yes, and there was a security guard stood in front of us pre-Glitter arrival. And we were very enthusiastic Glitterites, and we were doing the famous chant, "Leader, leader, leader." Yeah. You got it. With the sponge finger right in the back of the security guard. And after the third or fourth time, he turned around and he said, "One more and you're out."
Oh!
So, before we turned round, we were back at and he turned round and he grabbed my index finger.
Now, your real one or your foam one?
Sponge.
Yes.
And he ripped the end right off.
Oh, that's uncalled for.
And my friend, Alex, he threw his pint over the security guard.
Oh, dear. This is escalating.
Tell me about it. Yeah. And then the security guard, I don't know his name.
No.
He got on his CB and he called his fellow cohorts to round us up.
You're rounding up at a Gary Glitter concert. Still could have been worse.
Could have been far worse.
At which point we legged it appropriately.
Yes.
And it was Christmas, it was Christmas. Yes. So we ran out the auditorium.
Yes.
And we were, let's say, egging the security guards to chase us a little bit.
Duncan Norvell, yes.
They got to chase me, yeah. Yes. They got to the exit, and they stopped chasing us.
Yeah.
We tried to beckon them a little more. They wouldn't. So
their jurisdiction stops at the exit. Once they're out on the street, that's it. They're just big fat ball blokes. Well, inside, they're the masters of their own domain.
Well, that's what we were planning on, but when we found a large Christmas tree outside the auditorium with light bulbs attached and proceeded to unscrew them.
Oh, God, no!
Throw them at the
No! That is now, come on, you could have someone's eye out.
That's public order offence.
They chased us all the way to the train station.
I hope they gave you a good kick in as well.
No, the train was on time for once, so we got away.
Oh!
But we did miss the show.
Well, it's a shame because he put on a good show, but you deserve... you can't throw light bulbs at people. But thanks for that trip down your memory lane, Fitz.
You are most welcome, Ian. Most welcome.
Can I ask one thing?
Can you ask two things?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Okay. Radiant.
And can you just say the word toilet for me?
Tyler?
Get off.
Busted.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Good evening, Garth.
I've got a comprehensive list of films and songs that have got the same name. Do you want to hear it?
Why have you got that list?
Because it's intriguing.
All right, I tell you what. Let's turn this into a game.
Yeah, let's
play. You go first, I'll go second, Kath goes third, we go round, okay? So we're playing films that have the same name as songs, poker.
Deal.
You go first.
Grease.
Help.
Stand By Me.
Car Wash.
A Hard Day's Night.
Pretty Woman.
Man in Black.
Rocky theme.
No.
What? It's called Rocky.
Get out of it.
No, hang on. All right.
All right, me and you, Kath.
No, hang on. I'm still in.
Whoa.
Hang on.
My game.
All right, fair play. It's you and Kath. Go on.
When a Man Loves a Woman.
What film is that?
It's with Meg Ryan and...
No, that's Sleepless in Seattle.
Michael Greco. No, not Michael Greco, is it? Well, she's an alcoholic.
Michael Greco from East Pepe.
That wasn't Michael Greco.
Is she out?
What's he called?
She doesn't need to think of...
It's called When a Man Loves a Woman. It was where Meg Ryan's an alcoholic.
Okay.
Those magnificent men in their flying machines.
Singing in the Rain.
Stand By Me?
She just said
Stand
that.
By Me.
You're
I
out.
win.
You're out. I think
You didn't say Stand By Me.
Yes, she did. Right, first one. Second one.
No.
Yeah.
Chew on that, Garth.
Thank you very much, Garth.
You lost.
Does she walk? Does she talk? Does she come complete? My homeroom angel always pulled me from my seat. She was pure like snowflakes, no one could ever stain. The memory of my angel could never cause me pain. Years go by, I'm looking through a girly magazine. And there's my homeroom angel on the pages in between. My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. My angel is a centerfold. My blood runs cold. Yeah, my memory has just been sold. Angel is a centerfold. Slipped me notes under the desk while I was thinking about her dress. I was shy. I turned away before she caught my eye. I was shaking in my shoes whenever she flashed those baby blues. Something had a hold on me when Angel passed close by. The soft fuzzy sweaters, too magical to touch. To see her in that negligee is really just too much. My blood runs cold. Yeah, my memory has just been sold. My angel is a centerfold. Angel is a centerfold. My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. Oh yeah, angel is a centerfold. Na 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 na. I need a breather. Hang on a minute. Nah, yeah. Now listen, it's okay, I understand. They say no, never land. I hope that when this issue's gone, I see you when your clothes are on. Take your car, yes we will. We'll take your car and drive it take it to a motel room and take them off in private. Part of me has just been ripped, the pages from my mind are stripped. Oh no, I can't deny it. Oh yeah, I guess I gotta buy it. My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. My angel is a centerfold. My blood runs cold, yeah, my memory has just been sold. Angel is a centerfold. Na 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 na. Oh, Jesus. Oh, is that not? Oh, shit. Na 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 na. Blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. My angel is a centerfold. Angel is a centerfold. My blood runs cold. Yeah, my memory has just been sold. Angel is a centerfold. Jesus. Oh, that was oh, that's cute. And that's my tribute to Jay Giles, who died yesterday. There we go, you see. That was a musical tribute to a singer that passed away, I wouldn't say before his time. He was 71 and he had a hit. But there we go. He did. Oh. Good evening, caller.
Hello, you talking about me? Hello, Ian. Paul again. Right, okay. Can I set a question for you that I'd like to ask everyone that could call in? Please? Okay, the question is...
Tell Mark he's on.
Coming up, right? I'd like to know how everyone individually eats their Cadbury's cream egg. Because everyone...
Quick, he's going to go.
Topical. Hello? Hello. Yes, it's Paul. Am I on to Ian or another caller here? Can you say something, Ian, please? You're on to another caller. Okay. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. My name's Mark. Right. I don't know why Ian's put me through. Why have you called? Do you want to chat or...? Yeah, I wanted to chat to Ian, but tell me what you were saying. What I was saying was, it's Easter coming up, yeah? Yeah. Right, we all like an Easter egg. Do you like a Cadbury's cream egg? Yeah, sort of. Okay, right. So I think everyone eats them in an individual way. How do you eat yours your way? Wasn't that the ad campaign from a few years ago? Sorry? Wasn't that the ad campaign from a few years ago? I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. I'm not copying any. I just thought of it tonight. I wasn't accusing you of plagiarism. No, maybe you're right. So maybe it's not such a mad thing to ask, is it? It was used as an advert for them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they used it as an ad a few years ago. Thinking about it, yeah, they said, how do you eat yours? That was the catchphrase, wasn't it? Yeah, and that's what you've just said, isn't it? Yeah, but I've just remembered, I didn't know that, I didn't remember it from before. I just thought of it tonight. So, how do you eat yours?
What's that?
Cadbury's cream egg, that is.
Not penis.
It'd be a long conversation if I listed how I eat everything. Right. Have I touched on a touchy subject? Is this why Ian's done this? I don't think Easter eggs are ever a touchy subject. I meant about eating in general for you. It's just a guess. I've got nothing to add to that. Okay. I think Ian's played at both of us, hasn't he? I don't think Ian's been very fair.
Yeah. It's what he likes to do, though, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's what he likes to do, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that it's a bit cruel what he's done tonight. It's a bit low, isn't it?
Well, you wanted to talk about Easter eggs when you've got to talk about Easter eggs. You're just talking to me about it instead of Ian.
Don't know what to say. I was only trying to...
Do you eat yours in a strange way? Is that why you don't did to ask how other people eat theirs? Do you eat yours in a strange way?
I like mine not out of the fridge. I like mine from the fridge, which makes it quite hard, and then I like to put it all in my mouth at once.
You greedy
Surely
git.
you're at risk of choking.
No, I don't know. I'm not a little baby. No, I wouldn't choke, I don't think. I think it's quite a large thing to actually swallow straight away, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what
Oh, God, there you go. Ian's going to laugh at that as well. That'll go on the podcast, won't it?
I doubt this will go on the podcast.
Well, I just said, come on, he'll find it.
No, I doubt any of this will go on the podcast.
No,
Just turn
maybe
this off
not,
for a
no.
second.
It's two quite dull men speaking to each other.
It's quite what?
It's two quite dull men speaking to each other.
Okay. Why do you think yourself as dull? I don't think anyone should think of themselves as being dull.
That's a positive outlook on life you've got.
Sorry?
That's a positive outlook you've got.
I like to try and think of a positive outlook, yeah, even though a lot of the time I don't think very positively, but you got to, haven't you? You might think I'm eccentric. Maybe it's because I'm mad. You got to try and make light-hearted things out of things that are serious, haven't you, in life, really?
Are you glad you came over from TalkSport?
I listened to Andy and Candy a few times, but I got a bit fed up with them, yeah. I started to come over because they tricked me, didn't they?
Yeah, but you've stuck around.
I have, yeah. I don't really know why, but I think Ian is a very interesting guy, actually. But I think tonight maybe he's doing a good thing because you're actually speaking now. Why have you called in tonight? As a bit of therapy or someone to talk to? Or?
No, I had a hypothetical question for Ian, but I'll pose it to him another night.
Why don't you pose it to me?
Because it's specifically about his radio show. So you wouldn't be able to
You can still pose that to me because I listen all the time. Maybe I could answer it instead of him because he's not talking, is he? Maybe I might be able to give a better answer than Ian could.
Good evening, Ken.
Good evening, Ian. Ian, don't go on the back foot here. I'm just a wee discussion with you. I've read a wee bit about depression and...
Look, Ken, if you're going to tell me my depression is because of the lack of Christ in my heart, you can get stuff, mate.
No, I'm not going to say that.
I take it you've not been listening to the show this evening?
Not most of it, no,
You just use it as your own personal mouthpiece, because we played a recording of you scaring children outside TK Maxx in Newcastle.
Oh, what did I say?
You were just saying to anyone that was passing via a very loud public address system that if they didn't repent, they'd go to hell.
That's what the Bible teaches.
Fear. Well, I'd be furious if my kids heard you trying to scare them like that. What gives you the right to scare children?
The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
Oh, ridiculous. Utter balls, Ken. What gives you the right to stand outside TK Maxx with a public address system and scare children?
I never scared children.
You do, Ken. I heard the message. You said if they don't repent, they'll go to hell. You're terrifying children.
I never pointed that to children.
You're pointing it using a public address system so that everyone can hear. Mummy, what is that man saying about me going to hell?
Well, that's what the Bible. That's why Jesus.
I don't have much time for people that think it's acceptable to use fear to promote religion. I don't really have much time for that, I'm afraid, Ken.
Don't you end up in hell?
Ken. Honestly, mate, I find it deplorable. And this isn't anti-Christian. This isn't anti-Muslim. I find it deplorable. Anyone that uses a public address system in a public street, whatever their faith, and if you've been listening to the show, you would have heard the spiel I did earlier on, but you use the radio for your own personal mouthpiece, that uses, that thinks it's acceptable to scare children.
You need a bit of fear in your heart. The way
Ken,
you're going, Ian, God loves you, man. Don't go to hell.
Ken.
Jesus died for you.
No, he didn't, Ken. He didn't. It's a wonderful fairy story, Ken. But I lost a little bit of respect for you today when I realised that you thought it was acceptable to scare children in the street. I thought that was really sad and very unchristian. Very unchristian of you.
I am giving the Bible commands us to preach the truth.
Very unchristian of you, Ken. I thought that was terrible behaviour. He didn't.
Why do you think
I thought that was terrible behaviour to try and scare children in the street. I thought that was really sad.
Well, you're just twisting it around. You don't even want to hear the good news.
I don't want to hear it from you, Ken, because I think you're a frightful. If you think it's acceptable to scare people, that's really unchristian, Ken. That's really unchristian.
God commands us.
Why don't you preach about the love instead of about the eternal damnation?
But you just mock the love of God.
No, I don't, Ken. Ken, you hear what you want to hear. You don't like me. You think I'm an antichrist. You think I'm a sinner. All of this stuff, and you hear what you want to hear, Ken. I just lost quite a bit of respect for you today, knowing that you thought it was acceptable to scare children.
I'm not looking for your respect. I'm trying to be honest.
I know you're not, Ken, and I know you're not, Ken. You have an arrogance and an attitude that I find deplorable. No, he didn't, Ken. No, he didn't, Ken. It's a lovely fairy story. It's a wonderful story, but that's it, Ken. And I just think your attitude is thoroughly unpleasant.
Jesus died for you and rose from the dead. Why do you mock him?
I'm not mocking, Ken. Again, you're hearing what you want to hear. I'm not mocking anyone, Ken. If I'm mocking anyone, it's you for being a horrible man that thinks it's acceptable to scare children. You think it's acceptable to scare children?
I have told you Jesus loves you and died for you, but don't.
Well, Ken, let Jesus love me and you go away. Thanks for calling, Ken. Bye-bye.
Stop mocking him.
I'm not mocking him. But, Ken, that's it. No one else is hearing me mock him apart from you because you're deaf. Thanks for calling. 034... Good morning to you, sir. It's like you're in the room next door. My name is Ian. Thank you so much for this. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to be talking to you. Your music has been a huge part of the soundtrack to my life. So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Well, I just wanted to take you back and wondered what your memories of Hair were. How did you get involved with the musical Hair? Jerome Ragney called you.
Well, I was associated with a guy called
Nat Shapiro.
Nat Shapiro, and Jerry called him first.
Yeah.
And Nat put me in touch with both of them, Radio and Ragney.
And they had the story written, but none of the songs. Is that right?
Well, they had the lyrics written, but they had no music.
What did you think of the story, Galt, when you first saw it? Did you think it had potential?
Well, I liked the lyrics, I liked the guys, and I didn't really take the story too seriously, so I just assumed it was good. Good enough. And, we went ahead.
And how long did you have to write the music?
Actually, when I started, we didn't even have a producer. So I had forever to write the music, but they wanted to have it right away, so I went as fast as I could.
And did they give you any pointers as to how they wanted it to sound?
Well, they wanted rock and roll.
Right.
At the time, the word rock and roll meant something, and I knew pretty much what that meant. So I pursued that side of music.
But am I right in thinking, Galt, that before that you weren't really doing rock and roll, were you? You were doing all kinds of things.
Well, yes, but rock and roll was one of the things that I did. I liked rock and roll.
Yeah. And did some songs come easier than others?
Well, that I can't tell you. I can't remember. I don't think so. I just did them as they came along.
Yeah. And with good reason you can't remember. It was, it's celebrating its 50th anniversary this year.
Well, yes, that's why I can't remember.
It's a long time ago, Galt.
It is a very long time ago. Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask, obviously there are standout songs like Aquarius and Let the Sun Shine In, and I wondered if you had any feeling that when you were writing the music for those songs in particular, that you were doing something very special.
Well, Aquarius, the words were very interesting to me. When the moon's in the seventh house, I didn't know if they knew what they were writing about or if anybody knew, but it was an intriguing idea. And then the Aquarius part, I just knew that was the kind of song that you repeat.
Yeah.
And get excitement going.
Yeah.
Let the sunshine in, yeah.
Yeah. So you finished the songs, and you had now a full show. How did you and the team go about getting a producer to fund it?
You know, I'm going to have to think a bit for a second. I can't remember how we did.
No, Jerry took a class with Ian. This is Vince McDermott. This is Galt's son.
Hey, Vince, nice to talk to you. Thanks so much for helping out today.
100%. He took a class with Joe Papp at Yale and took the train back with him and convinced them, told him he wanted to do the
that's Joe Papp.
That was the first show that Joe Papp did that wasn't Shakespeare.
Oh, right.
I love it. I love it. And of course it was the nude scene, Galt, where everyone takes off their clothes before the intermission. How did that sit with you? Were you uncomfortable with that?
Not at all. I was totally comfortable with everything that Radio and Raggedy wanted to do because they seemed to know exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I assumed that was their department and the music was my department, so it worked out fine.
And of course, it's easy to forget that Hair was huge. It was a phenomenon in that it was huge hit on Broadway. It crossed over into the pop and rock and roll world, and also was a huge hit around the world. When did you realise, Galt, that it was a success and a phenomenal success?
Now. Now you're telling me.
It's only just sunk in now, 50 years later.
But I did live off it for quite a few years, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
It sounds like it. I think I've got several different versions of the soundtrack, and they all sound like a lot of fun. There were some songs, of course, that got overlooked and don't always appear. Songs like The Bed, and there's a few others. And I wondered, Galt, if you could remember if there were any of the songs that didn't make it into the final show that you think were good enough.
I thought they were all good enough. I didn't think about it in that way.
Yeah.
Just if people did certain things with songs, recorded them, with a good record company, that made a lot of difference to how they were received.
Yeah.
But I liked all the songs.
One of my absolute favourites, and I sing it quite often on the radio, much to the annoyance of my listeners, is Frank Mills. Frank Mills is just, it's such the poetry, the music. Any memories of writing that, Galt?
No, but I was aware that it was a very neat writing by the guys. Yeah. When they gave it to me, I was aware that it was very sharp. And I've always liked the song.
Yeah, it is beautiful. What did you think of the movie version of Hair?
I enjoyed the movie. I liked it a lot.
I think it's one of the better soundtracks. I mean, it's a completely different feel to the music. It's all a little bit funkier, but I do think it's an excellent soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, I think that too, sure.
I also only recently discovered the soundtrack to Dude, which is kind of loosely billed as the sequel to Hair. Any memories about Dude?
Actually, no.
That dude was with Jerry, and they tore the theater down. They put the mound of hill, and they had a racetrack around the theater.
Right?
Yeah, that was my favorite soundtrack, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Dude.
Yeah.
Vince, sorry, are you saying that Dude was your favourite soundtrack of your dad's work?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I only heard the soundtrack about 3 weeks ago, and I agree. It is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Why do you think, Vince? You remember? You know, you're perhaps a bit more aware of it than Galt is. Why do you think that Dude didn't really work in the same way that Hair did?
Well, that I couldn't really tell you that because that's a theatrical thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like the feel of the show and where Jerry Ragney. What he was talking about. I mean, he was talking about everything, angels and feelings, and there's a lot of emotion in that show, you know.
Again, it's really funky with all the horns. Vince, I don't know your age, Vince, but I was just wondering, at what point did you realise what your father did, and also that what he did was rather special and was loved by millions of people around the world?
I can answer that pretty clearly. I was sent to boarding school in 69, 70, and 71, and at that school were sons of diplomats from all around the world, you know, Europe, Africa, South America, and they were all interested in Hair. I mean, as you had mentioned earlier, it was a phenomenon. It wasn't really just a show that was popular.
Yeah.
It kind of affected everybody all over the world. So I knew it was something up there.
Isn't that funny? And I would imagine that they kind of thought your dad was almost like a rock star of the day.
They were very intrigued, you know, about the whole phenomenon there. Yeah. The truth is, Dad is a great person, and I know from, you know, growing up in his house that it's always full of music because he's always on the piano. So that was my upbringing.
Yeah. And Galt, do you still write music? Do you still play the piano? Do you still, get the urge to sit down and write something?
I sit down every morning at the piano and to find out what there is there. Sometimes there's something, and sometimes there isn't, but, you try.
Yeah. Are there any of your other pieces of work throughout your career, forget Hair for a second, are there any other pieces of work that you're really proud of, that you think people should know about?
Well, Two Gentlemen of Verona, I like that a lot.
The Human Comedy.
The Human Comedy.
The Mass.
The Mass.
With Bill. Isabel's a Jezebel.
Isabel's a Jezebel.
Yeah.
I can't, sitting here at the dining room table, I can't think of all of it.
I just bought the Two Gentlemen of Verona on eBay, and I just got it last week, and I'm looking forward to. I've got to dig out my record player, my turntable, and put it on that. No, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited because, of course, I just thought you did Hair, and I was reading up on you a few weeks ago, and I was so excited to see all these different albums, all these different soundtracks, these live recordings that I'm going to dive into and thoroughly enjoy.
Good.
Yeah, no, and thank you for making them. It is the 50th anniversary of Hair, and they're putting on productions all around the world. I know they're doing some shows in London, which I'm really looking forward to go and see. Is there anything? Is there anything you'd like to say to those people that might be going to see Hair 50 years after it was first performed?
I can't imagine what I could say except good luck.
You say good luck. I will tell you a story. I took my mother to see it. It was here about 5 or 6 years ago. I took my mother to see it, and she's in a wheelchair, so we were sat right by the aisle. And the scene where everyone strips off and comes into the audience, I will never forget, Galt. My mother is sat in the aisle in her wheelchair, and a very young, well-endowed actor comes and stands beside her, puts his foot up on a little ledge and basically was waving his fella in my mum's face. She had the time of her life, Galt. She loved it. She said to me, "I've not seen one of those in years."
That's good.
So thank you. Hey, listen, Galt, I'm going to let you go. I just want to say again, thank you so much. I've got about 7 different versions of your Hair soundtrack, and I'm buying your stuff from your website and from eBay and Amazon. And I just want to say thank you for letting the sunshine in.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and it's fun talking to you. Thank you.
You too. And Vince, thank you so much. And thank your dear wife for putting up with my relentless emails. And bless all of you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. The full quote is, "Not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen to be put down. No country, no party, no voice." I thought it was brilliant. Alan Bennett, 1982 would have been. Is that when the Falcons was? I've got Alan Bennett diaries, 1980 to 1989. I'm that kind of posh, silly old git that listens to that kind of stuff, and absolutely love it. And he was talking about the Falklands War and the jubilation over the Falklands War and all that kind of stuff. And but I it really rang with me. Not English, I feel now. He expressed it as poets and writers and playwrights and authors and men of word. The full quote. 0344 499 1000. It only costs you pennies to call up. Maybe free. We call you back. Simple as. Keith's on the line. Good evening, Keith.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Keith.
Hi.
Hello. The full quote is, "Not English, I feel now. This is just where I happen..." 0344 499 1000. It only costs you pennies to call up. Maybe free. We call you back. Simple as. Keith's on the line. Good evening, Keith.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Keith.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I was phoning about you were on about the rabbit hole thing.
Yes.
Are you looking for contributions from the public, or is it just what you're going to be doing?
Well, I want this to... So I want to create a channel, right? A channel where people can go and get all my bits and pieces. But it did cross my mind that maybe if there were, listeners that had made something that was interesting and was good, then it might be an idea to put that on the channel as well. What have you made, Keith?
Oh, it's nothing much but me nephew, Harry, he's very fast runner, and I take videos of it. It's interesting to see his progress.
Yes. Fast runner, you say? How fast is Harry?
Oh, well, he's 15, right?
Yes.
And he's done the 200 metres in 34 seconds. It's a good quality run, that.
The 200 metres in 34 seconds?
Aye.
I think I could do it faster. I used to run the 400 metres in 48 seconds.
Oh, no. Well, it's in his year group, he's third or fourth best.
Does he know that you make these videos?
Oh, yeah. No, it's sports. It's what you call sport video,
It's good, but it's not. Sports videos?
No, we sport video.
Sports videos?
We put, inspirational music on it, like...
Chariots of Fire?
No, more like Coldplay or...
Snow Patrol?
My wife likes to put U2 on.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so it's him running, but do you choose songs that are 38 seconds long?
Nah, they just run out when they run out.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And do you...
I'm not saying they'd be great, but people might have videos that are more fun than just the running,
Right.
So I just wondered if you'd be interested in them. I wasn't quite clear on that.
No, I know. Do you put titles on? Like words?
Well, Sport Video presents, and it'll be, for this one, be Fast Running.
Hang on a minute. It's Sport Video. Sport Video. So you've got a little production company.
It's just for when the cousins come round and the family's round and that.
Sport Video presents, and what was that movie called?
It's got Fast Running.
Fast Running. I would, and what other titles do you have in the range?
That's the only one we've done, really. But I'm saying it's not brilliant video or anything, but, you know, I just wondered if it was the sort of thing that maybe you'd like to put in the rabbit hole.
And what... yes, is the short answer, Keith, is yes. It sounds exactly the sort of high-quality product that we'd like to put on the rabbit hole.
Oh, right.
Yeah. How much would you be prepared to pay?
To put what I send it to you and you pay like?
No. You send it to me, and to be linked with such a prestigious award-winning broadcaster as myself, what's it called? Sports films?
No, sport video, but the particular one with me nephew in is called Fast Running.
Yeah, no, it's the title of the film, but the company is called Sport Films.
It's not a company, Ian is, but I do them myself, with very little backup.
Yeah. And what do you film them on? What kit are you using?
It's just on my phone.
Yeah. I could put that up there for 50 quid.
Well, that'd be, 4 weeks of his pocket money, like.
Oh, he's paying, is he?
Well, I'm not paying for it. You know, I put a lot of work into the video itself.
Well, that is the thing. It could generate a big audience. Can I ask a question? When you're filming it, do you hold the camera? It's a rectangular shape, the camera, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you hold it so the rectangle is pointing up?
No, I don't do that. I put it, I think they call it landscape.
Yes, you do it landscape.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't, it's just like a strip in the middle of the telly. I did that first off.
Yeah.
It was a shame because he was particularly fast that time, like.
And you missed most of it.
No, I got it, but it's just in a little strip.
I wouldn't be interested in that one.
No.
But the ones where you filmed in landscape...
I didn't put music, that one, Ian. I didn't even bother.
How often does he go running, this lad?
When there's a competition, it's coming into season now with the summer coming along.
Yeah. Keith, I think I'd definitely be interested in... it was Harry, was it?
Harry, yeah.
I'd definitely be interested in supporting Harry and showing his movies.
Gene, whilst the wife's just said, Gene Hackman in Loose Cannons, where Gene Hackman was searching for a German officer was searching for people who knew who killed Hitler, and he was with Dan Aykroyd, who did all like goofy characters. That was a terrible film, but Gene Hackman I really like.
Did you film
early 90s?
Did you film that?
No,
that's not a sports videos.
No, it's Hollywood.
I've heard of them. They've done some good ones, haven't they?
Aye.
Yeah.
All the Batmans and that. So, anyway, yeah.
Dan Aykroyd might be coming on this show soon.
I'll ask him to do the voices.
From Loose Cannon?
Whatever. I bet he's got other voices.
Okay, Keith. Well, you get those videos to me.
Oh, I lost the last then, yeah.
Not Loose Cannon, the Harry video.
Aye, I will do.
And yeah, we'll put that up on the rabbit hole.
That's brilliant.
Thanks so much. Thank you. You and your family are a real inspiration.
Oh, cheers, Ian. That's nice.
We go 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number.
generation. Late night Iain Lee on talkRADIO.
We have ways of making you talk.
Good evening, Keith.
Hello, is that Ian or the other fella?
This is Ian, Keith.
Hi again, Ian. I don't know if I phoned the other night about my boy and his running.
Remind me, Keith. I get a lot of calls. I don't remember them all.
I've got he's my nephew called Harry, and I phoned up wondering if you would like a video of his fast running for your rabbit hole. You said you might be interested, like.
Oh, yes. Have you sent the video to me yet?
No, that's why I wouldn't have bothered you really, like. But he got a letter from his school today, right?
Yes.
And it says that he's not been selected to do athletics for the next term.
Why is that?
It's just I've subsequently phoned up Ian to ask about why, because he loves his athletics so much. He's got the proper vest and that, and he's adapted his training shoes so they look more like fast shoes. You know?
What is he? Has he drawn like a Nike tick on there, or has he drawn like a sort of? How was he done? Stuck little bits of smoke out the back, cut out of paper.
No, that would be a good one like that, but
like Roadrunner.
Like you have to keep them aerodynamic, like, so it's just stickers and stuff that he's got off the cartoon magazines, you know. Of like fast characters who are fast runners themselves. I don't know if you remember Roadrunner,
Billy Whiz.
Billy Whiz, he was one of the fastest. Yeah,
I've
never been.
Go on. You're going to reminisce about Billy Whiz. I'm keen to share your I want to step into your memories.
No, I was just thinking because when they drew Billy Whiz, like they would like draw so you couldn't see Billy Whiz. You know.
Sometimes you were looking at the square you thought he was in, but he was already at the end of the cartoon. That's how fast he was.
He's right fast, and like so. I doubt I'll be able to video him. I mean, my boy's not that.
No,
he was not that fast. Like
no, but he would decorate his trainers with these characters.
With fast characters, yeah, fast characters. But so it was just done alphabetically, which just doesn't seem fair. Because there's probably a lad who really wants to play cricket.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to play. So I phoned up the fella. He's head of sport. I don't suppose I should say his name. I'll just say he's called Mr. C, yeah? And he looks like Martin Freeman. You know Martin Freeman, the Hobbit? Mark? Hello, Ian?
Yeah, yes, I do know Martin Freeman. Yeah, he's like every man, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's Mr.
Don't
Mr.
say
C, but
no.
No.
Is Mr. C his actual name?
No, like you mean like Johnny Be Good or Arthur C. Clarke or something like that.
Arthur C. Clarke, yes, like Johnny Be Good or Arthur C. Clarke, yes, or William H. Brambles, no.
Mercy. All I wanted to say was like, if you were relying on the fast videos,
yes,
so
yes,
because it's done out
relying on them.
And
don't let me down, Keith. Don't let me down, Keith. You promised.
Well, no. If he ends up playing cricket, I can do sports video, bat and ball edition or something like that.
Or is the word cricket copyrighted?
Cricket. He's not called Mr. Cricket. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're saying you're going to call the video bat and ball, but if the game he's playing is cricket, then why don't we just call it cricket? Or is cricket like hacky sack and it's copyrighted?
I suppose I could call it sports video cricket match. That's not bad.
Yeah. And would he be running in that video?
If it was cricket, no, I imagine it'd be pretty static, really, unless he gets the ball. But he's not really that sporty, you know.
Could you not send me some of his old videos of him running, Keith?
I've only got the one, but I did it portrait. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to see it portrait. I don't want to not portrait, Catherine. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. No, it's not worth it. Well, is he disappointed, the lad?
Oh, he's devastated. But I'm not this local parentis. Do you know what I mean? So
sorry,
I'm not this local parentis.
What, Latin teacher?
No, it means that I'm not the person who's responsible for like disciplining him or his care.
Are you not his dad?
No, he's my nephew.
Oh, sorry, I'm misunderstood. Okay, you can still discipline. You can still discipline a nephew.
Oh, I can't step on his dad's toes. Well, if you knew his dad, man, he's not long out the neck. You know, just leave that one there. Anyway, I'm off work at the moment, you know, so I've got a bad arm as well, so I was thinking about you with the injections.
So I'd raise my arm in a fist, but I can't.
Oh, because you're frustrated?
No, like the black men at the Olympics, solidarity.
Oh, I mean, like a campaign to get him back into the athletics.
No, to show solidarity with you, because you've hurt your arm. It doesn't matter. I was just thinking out loud, Keith.
Yeah, I've had proper operation, you know, the keyhole camera surgery.
What was wrong?
Cuff rotator had torn. So I said to the wife, I said, that doesn't sound very helpful.
No.
And so I've had the operation, I'll be honest with you, it's worse.
But it will improve, though. I mean, it's often worse after the operation, and then it will improve as things go, won't it?
I hope so. I know yours does as well.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Keith. I appreciate that, and best of luck to the young lad, and I hope he finds success playing. What game was it again? Bat and ball.
He's going to have to do either cricket match or bat and ball. Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell him what you said anyway, you know.
Okay, well, thank you, Keith. You're very lucky to have an uncle like you, even if you are disabled.
Yeah, no, he is lucky, and I have to remind him of that often.
Good night, Keith.
Good night.
0344 499 1000. Late nights at the talkRADIO.
Late night, Iain Lee on talkRADIO.
We have ways of making you talk.
Evening, Keith.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Keith.
Hi, Ian. I don't know if you remember. I wanted to update you about the sports video about fast running I was going to do to help you with a rabbit hole.
Now, Keith, I've been off with tonsillitis recently.
Yeah, I know.
So I've been a little bit ill, and I've if I'm completely honest, bits of my memory have been erased. So you've called before, have you?
It's like I had first heard about Rabbit Hole through the Iain Lee show, and I thought I might be able to help to launch it because I do sports videos. Do you remember?
I've got you now. Right? Okay. So the Rabbit Hole is the TV channel I'm doing on YouTube. And if I remember correctly, you've got a young niece who is a fast cyclist.
It's my nephew Harry.
It's Harry, and he's into his running.
He's a fast runner.
Yes.
And I do a sports video.
Yes.
So I wanted to send you one sports video, fast running, featuring Harry.
Yes. Well, I still haven't received that.
No, you haven't, and I feel quite apologetic about it. But that's what I'm here to update you. You see.
Okay.
Because we just live. There's a playing field right next to us here, right?
Yep.
And they've marked it out for athletics over the bank holiday.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought, that's a brilliant chance to get Harry down and do the video for Ian,
Yeah.
But I don't normally let him on this field because the headmaster's got a couple of Doberman, you know.
Yes.
One of them might be a lass, I'm not sure, but a couple of Doberman anyway. And you have to do a lot of dirt, so I don't really like him playing on there. So I went
the headmaster?
He's got two Doberman.
And he doesn't clean up their dirt?
No, we watch him from the top. I tell you,
that is outrageous.
I know, because they're big dogs, so they do big drops, you know what I mean?
Well, they're the size of human drops sometimes.
I tell you what, some of them, I go and clear them up with a tennis racket, you know, I leave it under and I shot them out of the way of where the kids are going to be. But I tell you, some of them are the length of the racket handle.
Blimey. You got to be careful with that, Keith, because you can go blind with all that.
Well, listen up to my story, because it gets worse to do with the... You see, so I got Harry out there, right? And I have a video recorder, old-fashioned one, but it's better quality than a phone.
Right, okay, so like VHS?
Oh, I wouldn't know, Ian, I'm sorry. It's got play, record, pause, that sort of thing.
Fast forward and rewind.
Yeah, you take a little card out.
Oh, okay, it's digital. Yeah, okay.
So I stand at one end and he runs towards me, right?
Yes.
And I've put up, do you know those little, the sort of posts they use to mark off the cricket green? It's like a metal spikes. Are you with me there, Ian?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not a big fan of cricket, but I think I've got it, yeah.
Right. Well, I've got a load of tape from, do you know Thornton's and Hotel Chocolate? The retail outlets for family chocolate. And they do the ribbons and that. Well, I've collected the ribbons and I made like a finishing line for him. Do you know what I mean?
Out of Hotel Chocolate ribbons?
And Thornton's. I've combined the two, like, you know, it's a little bit striking because of the different colours, but...
it's a lot of chocolate.
It's not my chocolate. I'm allergic to it. It brings me out in humps. So, of course, he runs towards it, and I got some beautiful shots of him. But as he came through the tape, it's tough stuff, that Hotel Chocolate stuff. So it pulled up the... it didn't break, is what I'm trying to say. It pulled up the posts. Okay. He fell on his face, and the terrible thing is just it almost touching his lip, he fell into the dog dirt. So that's pretty bad, that, isn't it?
That is disgusting.
And another thing I just wanted to say is that I've got worried because we put the video up and you can see Harry's face, right? And a couple of years back, I took some pictures of his 14th birthday party, right? And a mate then a couple of days later got in touch with me because I'd put him on Facebook, what you were talking about, like. Yeah. And he sent me this photo, and it was from one of them, like, bestiality sites, you know? And someone had cut out Harry's head and put it on top of a monkey. And, I mean, that's awful for the kid, isn't it? That's what will happen these days, so I don't want to send you it. I want to pixelate it. Ian.
Yes, that is awful. Poor lad. What was the monkey doing? Or is it best not to say?
Well, do you know, in the monkey's hand, they'd put on, like, a tuba lube.
A tuba lube?
So like lube, you know, so it was pretty obvious what was going on.
Yeah.
So...
That's horrible. I've got kids. That's horrible. You don't want people doing that. Some sick people out there.
You've got to be so careful. I need to learn about pixelation. Then it's all go, fast running.
But I don't want to put a video up of him falling into some dog dirt, even if it is pixelated.
No, I'm going to destroy that one, Ian. I'm going to get him out again at the weekend.
Yeah.
Or there's a bank holiday coming up towards the end of the month.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm either going to... If I haven't learned how to pixelate, I'll put a mask on it. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but I don't want it, you know, it's his privacy, isn't it, really?
We could do this as a phone-in, Keith, actually. 0344 499 1000. Whose face would you like to see on Keith's nephew, Harry, in his running video?
That's kind, like, that's nice.
No monkeys. We don't want to relive that.
Monkeys is a sore subject.
We don't want to relive that, but maybe...
no, thanks.
Maybe a sports... Paula Radcliffe?
Aye, that'd be nice. That'd be canny if you could get her permission, like.
I don't think you'd need her permission to do it.
Aye. Well, he's pretty damn fast anyway. You only get little glimpses of it, you know.
Well, Keith, listen, I hope everything's all right. I hope you how did you clean the dog dirt off?
Well, we took him to the hospital, but they told us I thought he might need a tetanus.
Yeah.
But he didn't need a tetanus. They just said use a wet wipe or a cloth or something like that. I have some hand wash that describes itself as for sanitising, so we put a bit of that on, and he's absolutely fine.
Brilliant.
Honest, he's as fast as I've seen him.
Keith, it's an important issue with loads of important issues, and shame on that headmaster for not cleaning that dog up. That really is disgusting. Shame on him.
Quite right. I'll get it to you as soon as I can, Ian.
Thank you, mate. Take care, Keith. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, fella. 0344 499 1000. Whose face would you like to see on Keith's? That's terrible. About
Lionel Richie.
That's terrible about that bestiality side.
Yeah, I mean, where to begin? The Doberman or women? The
Jubaloob.
Flipping heck. Some people, eh?
Okay. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call.
Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
And let's go to line 13. Good evening, line 13.
Hello?
Hello, Lee. Yes, you're on the radio.
Oh, hello, Ian. It's Keith. I was just phoning because I'm so chuffed about my video, my fast-running sports video.
Oh, Keith, you sent that video through this morning to me. It was fantastic.
Oh, thanks. I was pretty pleased with it. I got the music wrong a bit, but I was pretty pleased. And it's video of the week.
It's movie of the week on Rabbit Hole. Shall I play the video on the radio now? Do you think that would work?
Oh well, I'll be honest with you. I've had the lad Harry round tonight because I have him on Friday nights. You know.
Yeah.
And we've probably listened to it 30 times. You've made him so happy, like. Thank you for that.
It's an incredible... Shall I play the video so the people can listen to it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It might be a bit boring because I've made it super visual, you know.
You have made it very, very visual. You've done a lot of fancy editing on that, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. It took us, I think it was 3.5 hours it took us. I take 2 boiled eggs to the library. And usually I'll only get through one of them and I'll just chuck the other one away. I'll chuck it at the town hall. But I had both of them, so 2 eggs. I knew that I'd put quite a shift in, you know. But anyway, it was worth it. Did you see the starburst effect?
I did see the starburst. I tell you what I found interesting, because there's a bit where you had a countdown, 3, 2, 1.
Aye.
And... the 3 and the 2 were the same font.
Aye.
But the one was...
I know what you're going to say.
The one was a different... It was like from you'd sourced it from somewhere different. And I thought that was unusual.
No, actually, originally it was 3, 2, 1 in the same format. But I just wanted that moment to really kick in, so I made it #1. Did you see the hashtag? It looks like a moat or something, like a portcullis.
I did see the hashtag. I'm watching the video now. It's absolutely... I'll retweet it again. It's had 795 views.
That's something, isn't it?
It's got pictures of Usain Bolt, a leopard, there's the number 3, then it goes to 2, and then you're right, it's #1. Can I be critical?
I expect you're not going to be happy about it being portrait.
I'm not happy about it being portrait. What were you thinking, man?
Well, I don't know if you look at the video really closely, like, there was a certain amount of pressure I was under, because it's on the school field, right? And there was a policeman were there.
There were a lot of policemen there.
Yeah, I know, because as far as, well, I want to bore you and everyone, but there was a lot of police there because apparently a big dog had attacked a little dog.
What?
And there were, they're not very approachable, the police and that. And happy because Harry had to wear a balaclava, and they wanted to know what
does it say? What does it say on his balaclava? Does it say fairies?
No, it's Canaries. He's not a City fan, and that's their nickname.
Okay. And he didn't. He doesn't look like you can see where he's going. He didn't tread on any dog mess or anything, did he?
No, I mean, I don't know if people are going to spot it, but the racetrack he's on is actually it's a primary school, and that's probably for the egg and spoon race or for the sack race, right? But I put him on the big track, the big lads track, with the bobble over his face. And he started veering off, towards the cricket pitch. And you're not allowed on the cricket pitch, and with coppers there anyway. I thought we'd better just go on the nippers track. But I just wanted to say thank you. And I had him tonight because his mum and dad.
He's bloody fast, Keith. He is bloody fast.
He's not the fastest in his year. There's what's in his class, 27, and I think he'll fluctuate between 17 and 19. But it's a pretty swift lad. So I had him tonight and a smile on his face watching it together. His parents are at the Country and Western night. They're in a duo called Meadow Horse. It's just Dolly Parton and Dr. Hook and that. And then his mum comes and picks him up at 10 o'clock, because his dad is in Wigwam and Co., which does more blue country stuff, about hot dogs and sausages, you know what I mean.
Something for the dads, a bit of adult fun.
Aye, for the dads and the late teens.
Yeah. You spelt your name wrong at the end, but that's fine. These things happen.
No, I know. Have you ever edit tools, man? It's a different language to me. I did my best. What's
the duo called that his mum and dad are in?
No, the mum and dad together. Yeah. It's more country ballads, and they're called Meadow Horse. It's lovely. It's a lovely image in it, the horse in the meadow.
Yeah.
And then when they're finished,
he does Wigwam.
He does Wigwam and Co. He'd kick me head in if I got that wrong. Wigwam and Co.
Okay. Well, listen, the video is brilliant. Let me read some of the comments that are underneath it. Isn't it hot running with a coat on? All I saw was a fuzzy blur, too much speed. Astonishing. My goodness, that's fast running.
No, that's not bad, is it?
It's in portrait. I only want to see videos in landscape.
Oh, shit, man.
Dear. Well, Keith.
Anyway, so thanks again and that.
Thank you.
I'm going to do another one,
Oh, God. I look forward to that. What's it going to be? Is it bat and ball?
No, it's not. He's going to do fast eating. He had 3 hot dogs tonight at 3 minutes. That's just the sausage, not the bun and all. That'd be daft, wouldn't it? And I'm going to check up, but I think that's pretty fast.
I know that you've had trouble before with his image being used on a bestiality site.
Aye, he's put his head on a monkey, and he'll never live that down.
With the tubalube, wasn't it?
Aye.
And I just worry, if you film him eating hot dogs...
I'm with you, yeah.
Is there a chance that someone could put that on a...
I know what you don't even have to say it. I know what you mean. I don't
want him to have, I don't want him to be involved in anything blue.
Well, I mean, he'd never get them through his bobble. But I tell you what, you let me worry about that.
All right, Keith, nice one.
Because it'll be fast.
Mate.
That's all I promise.
Thank you so much, Keith.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks again.
Have a great weekend, mate. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I think we should probably have a break.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Get an earful of unusual nocturnal emissions with radio's Lord of Misrule, Iain Lee. No relation, thank God.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation. Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk. Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Take a far-out trip into the twilight zone of late night radio with Ian
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Mr. Pete Heat has gone, dear listener. He has gone. What? Absolutely incredible. Love it. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Keith's on the line. Good evening, Keith.
Hi, Ian. You all right?
I'm all right, thank you. Did you listen to Pete, the magician?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. I thought 4 tricks in an hour. I thought it was a bit slow, to be honest. Slow magic made me instantly think. You'll see what I'm thinking. Okay. Made me instantly think I could get my Harry to do fast magic. Blow him out the water, you know what I mean?
Can Harry actually do magic?
No, but I imagine you can teach it from the internet. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Pete Feet isn't good. Like, I'm just saying Pete Heat isn't good. I'm just saying that
he was slow.
It was 4 tricks in an hour, but I counted.
So you would have preferred. How many tricks would you have liked to have heard?
I'd like quick fire, like ram bam bam. Like trick.
Trick. Can I? Before we go any further, I've got. Choose discomfort over resentment. Can I bring up something, Keith, that's been worrying me all day?
Is it because of me text last night? Swearing
you sent me a very foul-mouthed text last night, and it says, and I'm going to censor it.
Oh, don't, man. I mean, don't read it out, Ian.
What a effing lying bee. You sent that in yesterday. I just wondered what the rationale was behind it.
Well, of course, I wasn't referring to you, Ian. No. It was that fella was on Clive.
Yes.
And I was absolutely livid. I mean, he was talking about my nephew, saying he wasn't fast. And that you know as well as me, the truth of it is...
I've seen the video, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's fast, and that's can't be disputed. The thing is
he claimed the video
movie of the week.
He claimed the video was fake, and he was referencing the coppers' helmets wobbling.
Oh yeah, he thought that was funny, saying coppers. You could put that video in. I promise you could give it to the people who make the Batmans, the movies and that.
The recent ones, or the ones with Val Kilmer.
I don't know who's in them. I'm so sorry. Ian, about that. I don't know the stars. Because I like to think of it as really as Batman. But all I was phoning to say, Ian, was like the truth of it is, I know this bloke, Clive, he's at my nephew's, and the truth is, he's calling his son faster than my son, and that he wanted the truth to come out.
Yes.
Well, the truth is, his son isn't actually as fat as Clive says. 1, and 2, it's Clive who's the fat lad. We call him, where we are in the estate, we call him Buttery Clive. And that's
Buttery
one
Clive? Why is that?
Well, 1, because he's fat, like butter's made of fat, these days.
Why not call him lard?
Well, it's Buttery Clive is what, he's always been called that. He's from a notorious family of butterers, because it's the word, because they spread rumours all the time. Like the rumour he spread last night that video is not actually real.
Okay, well, listen. You and Clive need to get together and have a chat and sort this out. Okay, I don't want my show turning into Jeremy Kyle. You mentioned that there might be another video of Harry eating was it jacket potatoes?
No, it was hot dogs, but just the hot dog sausages,
not the bun.
But not the bun, no. So, but on the tin it says hot dog sausages, so it's just the hot dog sausages. But what I'm actually going to do, and I wouldn't have phoned if it wasn't for this Clive fella.
Yeah.
Because I was going to surprise you, because he's going to do, and I'm going to do it next Monday with him. He's going to do fast cycling, on his bike.
Oh yeah.
And you haven't reacted that favourably to it, but I'll send it in. And
his
might
bikes
get in the rabbit hole.
Well, I don't know if it might not. Bikes, it's easy to be fast on a bike, isn't it?
You don't see. There's ways of being faster, isn't there? If you think of it more stunt work.
Well, because the way to get fast on a bike is there's several ways. One is to go downhill. One is to kind of lean over, so you're like hunched over, so you're more aerodynamic.
Aye.
And the other is to be towed by a car.
I'm not towing him on a car, Ian. I don't want to do that.
Okay, just saying.
Imagine this. Say, for example, you live in a world where the bike would take off from the ground surface.
Yes.
And the speed occurred once it had left the surface of, you know what I mean, had left the ground.
Like a rocket bike?
Well, mate, I didn't say that, Ian.
No, I'm asking you. Are you saying Harry's got a rocket bike? Like Evel Knievel or Eddie Kidd? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying, Ian, is that if you can imagine that,
yes,
what a rocket bike would be like.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry to laugh. I'm sorry to laugh, Keith, because I know you take these things very seriously, but it does feel like you've entered the world of fantasy. You're going to put your young nephew on a rocket bike to prove Buttery Clive wrong. That's what you're going to do. That's insane, man.
Well, sounds to me like you're interested, though.
I'm very interested. I smell a story, and it sounds good. It smells good.
I'm going to call it Sports Video Rocket Bike.
That's an excellent title for it.
Well, so I just wanted to put you in the picture with that Clive fella if he rings up, like.
He's an effing lying bee.
Well, I'm sorry, that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
Ian. And, trust me, next Monday, Tuesday, Sports Video Rocket Bike.
I look forward
to it.
All right, Keith.
On its way to Rabbit Hole.
Keith, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Ian.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
That's insane.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Oh man,
we'll get you talking.
0844 499 1000. Hello, Emily.
Hi there. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Iain Lee. Who am I speaking to, please?
Oh, Ian. God, how amazing. You're speaking to Emily again.
It is amazing.
It is amazing. It's so lovely to hear your voice yet again and to hear that you are still alive and doing everything that you're doing.
Is everybody drunk tonight?
Everybody always is.
There we go, you see. Well done. Welcome to your boozy boudoir. Emily's boozy boudoir.
It is so definitely that. Boozy boudoir.
What day is it? It's only Wednesday. Why is everyone steaming on a Wednesday?
Because Ian,
there we go.
My birthday and my best friend's birthday, we are within 1 week of each other, and we have been out tonight.
Boozing.
Mm-hmm.
And smoking fags. There we go.
God, you really do have a problem with cigarettes. Have you given up smoking?
I don't know. I did. No, well, hang on a second.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think I have a problem with cigarettes?
I believe that you have a problem because you always mention it all the time.
I think it's quite rude to smoke on the telephone.
I know, and I must admit, I agree. And I said agrit. The two words came together. But listen, actually, we're not tonight about whether that is rude or not rude. We're about let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Away you go.
Well, I mean, come on, Ian. You must have something that coming out tonight. What? There must be a sort of conversation. Are we so completely have been taken so completely somewhere that I don't even know where? Come on. There must be a conversation situation that we must be talking about. Something.
Ian, for fuck's sake.
Steady on. What's your language? That's your yellow card.
Okay. Ian?
Yes.
Let's have a chat about...
Well, go on then, tell...
oh, God!
Tell me.
There's so much we could talk about. Let's talk about the football, or the tennis, or the ridiculousness of the country that we live in.
Go on then.
Well, let's talk about the ridiculousness of...
Well, you start and I'll jump straight in.
Okay. No, because I'm feeling quite self-conscious about the fact that you've asked me to initiate this whole conversation.
Well, you've called in to a phone-in show. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
There is kind of an implication that you have something you want to say.
Okay, my implication of what I want to say is the fact that I'm utterly gutted by the situation that I could possibly be considered that I live in the same country as when everybody says Britain has left and done whatever the fuck they've done.
Well, that's no more swearing, so we'll cut you off.
Okay, I apologise.
Well, that's 2 you've done, so no more.
No more, Ian. Okay, okay. I'm really gutted by the fact that we are in a situation that we have to accept that every single goddamn country says Britain has done something, when I actually think that half of Britain has done something. Half of Britain. So why should I be put into the same category as Britain has done something that I wasn't happy about, but then I'm being told that Britain has done something and I'm supposed to be part of that? I wasn't. I didn't. I'm not.
I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
Why not?
Because you're being very vague and non-specific.
No, I'm not being vague and non-specific. I'm being very clear and specific.
You're being vague and non-specific and sweary. So what are you talking about?
No, I'm not.
I know you're not. So what are you talking about?
I'm just talking about the fact that if anybody wants to bloody well talk about the whole situation of what the situation is...
What situation would that be?
The situation of post, Brexit.
Brexit! That's what we're talking about. Okay, Brexit. But that's democracy, baby. Live with it.
Yeah, I know. I've said that to myself. Okay, fine.
Did you vote?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you voted to remain?
Yes.
Yeah, it's democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with it.
Yeah, I know. And I could have, I know. And I could just deal with it.
Well, you can't. It would appear that you can't.
Well, no, it's not a situation that I just can't. It's a situation
that you won't. You refuse to. You refuse to deal with it. You're kicking out the jams, to quote the MC5. Now, were you drinking or smoking there?
Both at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, just smoking. Literally just smoking. Okay, who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking to? I'm not speaking to the person that I thought I was, am I?
That would depend on who you thought you were speaking to.
I thought I was speaking to, what's he called? James.
James O'Brien.
No, fuck's sake, Lance.
Stop with that.
Ian. Am I speaking to Ian or not?
Who is Lance?
Well, if I was speaking to Ian, he would know. That's the thing. So I'm obviously not speaking to Ian.
Well, okay. Well, who are you speaking to in that case?
I have no idea.
Maybe if listen, if it's 25 past midnight on a Wednesday, and you're drunk, and you're on the phone to someone you don't know who it is, maybe that's a good time to put the phone down and go to bed. What do you reckon?
Well, that potentially is a very good idea.
Yeah, I think that when you listen to tomorrow's podcast and go onto YouTube and you hear and see this,
Yeah.
you'll have wished you'd done it a little bit.
Humiliated.
No, humiliated and ashamed, but you'd have wished you'd have put the phone down a bit earlier.
Oh, well, maybe I would have done. But maybe if I'd been speaking to Ian,
Yep.
maybe I would have had an intelligent conversation.
Maybe.
And maybe I wouldn't have felt like this.
Okay.
And maybe, is that you, Ian?
Thanks for calling, Emily. Ta-ta.
Oh, good night, darling. Bye-bye.
Oh dear, there's a young gentleman called Matthew Stevenson who he's taken over from a guy called Lentini, and he basically he gets all of the Periscope videos. I made it difficult with him because I've stopped the video 3 times tonight. Gets all the Periscope videos and puts them on YouTube, and I'm going to grab that little bit and I'm going to put that on the Talk Radio page and my page, and that's the one that's going to go viral. Hang on a second.
Never mind the haters.
Never mind the haters. Tom, thank you very much. You're very kind indeed. I'm going to be a bit brief because we've got 6 callers lined up. It's Peter!
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Peter. What you got for us?
I was just a first-time caller. I just found your talk show tonight, so and it's really helped me in hysterics.
You've just found it tonight?
Aye.
Oh, blimey, what a one to pick.
I'm flipping. How funny that you... How did you find Talk Radio?
I think it's always been in my psyche, but I just typed in Talk Radio.
Because we've only been back as a station... Because Talk Radio was like 20 years ago, and then it became Talk Sport. And Talk Radio, is, in this incarnation, only relaunched in March, so it's kind of quite new.
Right, okay.
But I'm glad you found us, and I'm glad you've called in on your first listen. Well done, thank you, mate. It's make my job a lot easier.
Can we talk about serious subjects as well as...
We can talk about anything you want.
Okay, right, well, I was going to start off, and I hope you have a good sense of humour.
Oh.
And it's not true, what I'm going to say, right?
Okay, I've got a feeling we won't get on, but go on.
I'm sorry for all the tweets and the C words.
Okay. So it wasn't, but it wasn't you?
It wasn't me, really.
Okay, that's fine. That's
good one.
Good one, yeah.
But you did put dog poo through my letterbox.
Well, you did. You deserve that, Peter. Let's be honest.
I know. I do.
It was a little
secret. It wasn't a dog poo either.
But anyway, the serious thing is about
let's
politics.
get serious. Yes, serious politics.
Okay.
Yes.
Is I think the referendum was announced in February.
Okay.
And it's been going on now for 5 months, 6 months?
Well, no, it's finished now. It finished a few weeks ago when we had the vote.
It hasn't finished, though.
Well, no, the referendum is finished.
The referendum's finished, but the politics is still going on.
Right, yeah, but, okay. Well, yeah, so it'll go on for a couple more years,
And the media are bombarding us with politics.
Oh, right.
Now, yesterday, France...
Quite a lot of political things have happened since the referendum, don't you think?
I understand that, yeah.
So I wouldn't say bombardment, it's more a reporting.
Well, it's bombardment when the referendum gets called in February, and then we have...
Well, you're talking about two different things. You're talking about two different things. The referendum is over.
Yes.
Yeah, and since then, a significant amount of things have happened in the world of politics, and the press is reporting on them.
I understand that, but however, Theresa May is now PM.
Yes.
Her cabinet is now installed.
Yes.
Okay. Jeremy, what they call him? Jeremy Corbyn, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the ballot for the next thing, but that's not going to be done until September.
Why are you bombarding me with politics?
Parliament is going to get dissolved in 3 weeks' time.
Why are you bombarding me with politics? You're bombarding me with politics.
Because media have been doing that to us for the last 4 months.
But why are you... So you're getting revenge by now bombarding me, the media, with politics?
What I'm trying to say to you is the atrocities in France yesterday...
Yeah.
And they're still going on about Boris Johnson, foreign minister, and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's just politics.
But why are you bombarding me with politics?
Because it's a chat show.
Well, yeah, and...
so we can talk about what we want to talk about.
Yeah, I know exactly,
Sure.
but newspapers report the news, and news broadcasts report the news. So they talk about... Can you complete that sentence?
They talk about what's relevant.
They talk about the news.
The most relevant thing is Paris.
Right, which they've
Sorry,
talked
not
about.
Paris,
They've
France,
talked about,
Nice,
yes.
You know, what's gone on there.
They've
Not
talked about
Boris
that.
Johnson.
Well, no, but why can't they... The thing about the news, if you've ever seen it, they don't just do one...
I see a lot of news, mate.
Okay, cool. Well, then you know how it works. They don't just like the news at 1, which is like half an hour long. They won't just do one story, will they? They can do several stories. And Boris Johnson becoming Foreign Secretary after he, was the head of the the successful Brexit campaign, and then everyone thought he was going to be Prime Minister, and then he got stabbed in the back, and then he became That is quite a big news story.
I understand it's a passionate thing.
No, I didn't say that. I said it's a big news story.
Yeah, it's relevant. However, it's been going on for 5 months.
No, it hasn't. Boris, it hasn't. When did Boris Johnson become Foreign Secretary?
A week ago.
No, try again.
3 days ago.
I think it was like 2 days ago, wasn't it? So
2 days ago.
Yeah, so not 5 months and not a week ago. So
no, the referendum was called 5 months ago.
You keep going about the referendum, and then you've told me that the referendum is finished.
But the media keep putting it into our
no, they don't.
Our living rooms.
Well, you can turn it off. It's a big news story. I don't know what you don't understand.
Hold on, right? My point is, and I'll finish on this, right?
Go on.
Obviously, we're not going to get on.
No, I'm enjoying this. Don't do a rush on me. I'm enjoying this.
There's been 2 pensioners murdered in Norfolk a few weeks ago.
Right.
They've got 30 seconds on the news because of the politics. You know, I'd rather. There's more going on in the world.
Rather
than just
hear about
our
2 old
politics.
people being murdered. That's a bit weird.
No, it's not weird.
Why would you want to hear about that?
Why do I want to hear about politics for 7 months?
Well, you have the option to turn it off because it's probably.
I'm going to what new channel?
But here's the thing, Peter. Right? Okay. We've not talked about Brexit on this show at all once.
No,
listen to me. We have I've been on air since March the 21st, okay? 5 nights a week, 3 hours a night.
Okay.
In that time, I've spent 10 minutes talking about Brexit, right?
Okay.
And as of tonight, I've spent 20 minutes talking about Brexit because you've called in to talk about Brexit.
Okay.
So, you've made my show, which is... And this isn't an accusation, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. You've made my show, which has been a Brexit-free zone, you've made it about Brexit. So you've made the situation even worse for all of my listeners that have managed to avoid Brexit.
I see your point in that way, but, and this is my final point, right?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say to you is...
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about politics anymore. But...
I had to... In that case, I'll cut you off. That makes it easy. He's phoned up to say he doesn't want to talk about politics anymore by talking about politics some more. Was that what happened?
For about 10 minutes.
Flipping it. No, blimey.
Across the UK.
Oh, that's going on YouTube. That's going on YouTube. Fucking hell. 08444991000. Darren's on the line. Evening, Darren.
Hello?
Yes, Darren?
Hello.
You won't be on the line for much longer with that attitude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was on speakerphone. I know you don't like speakerphone.
No. Or attitudes.
No. Sorry?
Nothing, Darren. What you got for us?
I haven't got attitude.
Well, that was attitude.
Yeah, that was because you give me attitude.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. When do I give you attitude?
Just don't use it.
No, I said, no, hang on, you started with attitude, and I...
No, I didn't. I said it was on speakerphone. Speakerphone.
Well, no, you started with attitude, and then I mentioned the attitude, and suddenly the attitude was cubed.
Yeah, the attitude often is...
Here it is.
...with you.
That's it.
If somebody doesn't like it.
That's the... what you just had then was...
I don't believe it. I've been on...
That's it.
I've been on the hold for 48 minutes, and then you give me this.
Well, no, I'm not giving you anything. You're giving me attitude.
Who was the first person to mention attitude?
You.
No, it wasn't. It was you.
Who was the first person to have attitude?
It wasn't attitude. What I was saying, it was on speakerphone, and I know you don't like speakerphone.
But you,
so
but those words.
When you was, I had it on speakerphone.
The words.
I turned it off.
First of all, the words are not attitudinal.
Ian, could you start an argument in an empty room?
The words. Well, this is fun, though, right?
Sorry?
You're getting genuinely angry now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, because...
Yeah. The words were not attitudinal. It was the attitude.
What attitude? I just said
that one there.
Turn it off.
There.
Because...
That one there.
Yeah, I've got it now.
That.
I've got it now.
Yeah, I know.
Because you've given me it.
No, I'm not giving you anything. You started with it. That's why I mentioned it.
Started with it. I just said... Oh, my life. Who was that fella the other week? He was... what was the guy the other week? He was talking to you and you just really went at him. Is it because you're tired?
Well, hang on a minute. Now...
Is it because have you got like a migraine?
No.
You've been saying all night
hang on a minute.
I was going to talk to you on your radio show about some really good things, and then... But you're the one with the attitude.
I've not got any attitude, Darren. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you mentioning the bloke from last week for? What's that got to do with anything?
Because it was... now you're doing it to me.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not... Well, you mentioned I had a go at some bloke. I'm not having a go at you. It's interesting. Exactly. It's your attitude. It's interesting that you think I'm having a go at you.
It's not my attitude. I was coming up with... I was calling in... I've been on... hold for 48 minutes. Why would I
49.
have an
It was 49 minutes. It was 49 minutes.
Well, 49 minutes then.
Yeah.
Why are you arguing about 1 minute?
I'm not arguing. I'm just dependent. I like accuracy.
Okay. So straight away, my points have gone.
Well, but I've not done that. You've done that.
I haven't done nothing. Seriously, Ian, I don't know what's... That guy, I remember that guy the other night.
What are you talking about? What guy?
In. That guy called in. Hang on, let me speak.
I'm letting you speak, but if you could just try and speak and make sense.
I'm talking, and you're speaking over me.
All right.
The guy the other night...
This is the attitude again.
He called from Texas.
Yeah.
And you really went at him. And I was thinking, this guy's just making a point about the BBC.
No, Darren. We were having a discussion. We were having a little bit of a radio...
No, because half an hour before that, a guy who was talking about he wants to kill people, he's basically a misogynist, you let him go. You let him walk away.
Right, that was
into the night.
Right. Well, but Darren.
You had the point about... No, listen.
No, Darren. I tell you what. Darren, what do you do for a living?
What's that got to do with you?
Because I tell you what I'll do is I'll come to your job one day and I'll tell you how to do your job because I don't have a clue how to do your job.
You won't, because when I'm in my job, I don't ask your input.
Right.
I don't phone you up to ask your input.
But then I am my
input.
Yeah, but Darren,
in your job,
what is this attitude?
In your job,
it's the attitude again. I'm listening. I'm listening to the attitude. Right, but I'm not asking for your direction
until you started bloody having a go.
Have you had a tough day?
Well, I've had a tough day. I've had a tough life. What's got to do with you?
Well, because at the moment your tough day and your tough life are being taken out on me.
No, because you started it. This is how arguments start.
I didn't start anything, Darren. You started it by having an attitude.
I didn't have an attitude.
And let's just go back. Let's just go back to the point. Let's just go back to the.
I took it off speakerphone, and then you had an attitude.
No, the attitude was the attitude. The attitude. No, I'm not. I've had a great day. I've had a great day. The attitude was
you said
snoring.
You were having a bad day.
The attitude.
You weren't feeling great.
No, I didn't say I was having a bad day.
You're taking it out on me.
I didn't.
You're taking it out on other callers in the past.
Darren,
because I've listened to you.
Darren, I didn't say I'd had a bad day. I've had a great day. I'm tired. I've had a long day, but I've had a great day.
Oh, you're tired.
The snoring. It was the snoring. Was the snoring? So the snoring wasn't attitude.
I'm tired.
The snoring wasn't attitude.
The what?
The snoring at the start of the call. That wasn't attitude.
Who was snoring?
You were snoring at the start of the call.
I was not snoring. I was taking it off speakerphone.
It sounded like snoring to me.
And I said to you, I took it off speakerphone because in the past I've heard you saying, take it off speakerphone.
Okay.
I had it on speakerphone because I was on hold
What
for
is your
48
problem? Darren,
minutes.
what, I don't know what your
Now,
problem is. It was 49 minutes.
Because it's your attitude.
But I haven't got an attitude, Darren. I haven't got an attitude.
You have.
But I haven't got an attitude.
You've had it in the past. You've had it from the other, like that caller from Texas the other day. You had an absolute arsehole of an attitude.
Right, Darren, what's your language, buddy, all right? That's just watch.
Okay, sorry.
Just watch your language. It's the attitude again coming through.
See, saying that swearing is an attitude, it's not.
Okay. It shows a lack of intelligence. All right, that's fine. It's a lack of intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Now,
so
now
Darren,
we're talking.
Darren,
Lack of
the argument with the fella about the
somebody swears.
Darren, the lack.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot, Iain Lee. You're an idiot. You still there?
Yeah. I'm sorry, my alarm went off on my phone.
Okay, well, that's the idiot alarm, probably.
No, it was an alarm I set.
Yeah. We're idiots, like you.
Okay, where's this? Where is Darren? All right. You've really surprised me, mate.
No, because you're an idiot, Ian. You've had a go at me. And
I've not had a go. Darren, I've not had a go.
Radio show.
Darren,
don't listen to me.
I've not had a go. No, hang on a minute. Your fade is down now. I don't do that very often. I do that with very special callers who've got really bad attitudes. I've not had a go. There we go. Let me see. The argument with the Texan, right? That was sport. That wasn't. We didn't fall out. That was sport. And
it didn't sound like that.
Well, no, because I'm good at my job.
Like you was horrible to him.
Well, that's how you interpreted it, Darren. But I'm good at my job, mate. I know what I'm doing, and that's why he will call back. Jonathan, who I'm assuming you're talking about, I didn't let him get away with anything. I picked him up on every single point.
You do. You always let him get away with it. You always, and then about half an hour later, you had that Texan who you just went for. And that guy, I don't know where he was, but when you just...
Right, hang on a second. Jonathan, Darren, calm down, mate. Calm down. You're embarrassing yourself. Jonathan.
I'm not embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassing you because you're an idiot.
Well, I'm not the one chucking out insults, mate. Jonathan.
Hello.
Hello, Jonathan. Do I let you get away with stuff?
No.
Okay, there you go, Darren.
Oh, okay, that's the argument gone then.
Well, yeah, because you're wrong.
You've got Jonathan on.
Well, you're wrong.
What about my perception as a listener?
Well, maybe you should stop listening, Darren, because it's obviously you're hearing a different show to the one that's being broadcast in. I'm not going to change, Darren. I'm not going to change the act for you, mate. So maybe you need to change the radio station because this is the act, dude. This is the show.
Yeah. Okay, is that your speak? I called in and waited 48 minutes to talk to you about something simple.
Right.
But you had an attitude.
I've not had an attitude. I've not had any attitude.
You had an attitude, and you keep saying it's.
I've not called anyone. I've not called anyone an idiot.
What did you say at the beginning? Stop with the attitude.
Yeah, I didn't call anyone an idiot, Darren. You're the one that's throwing out insults willy-nilly.
Oh, already straight away.
Well, we're not already straight away. We've been talking now for 8 minutes, and you're the one that's calling me an idiot. And yet I'm still here talking to you.
I'm saying you're an idiot the way you perceive my call.
Oh, well, okay, but you're... All right, Darren. Well,
listen, we're going to go round and round and round.
Exactly. So I suggest you put.
You know that. I know that. So end the call, and I won't listen to your radio show, and I won't call you again. How's that?
That's perfect. Perfect by me.
Brilliant.
Buddy.
Well done.
Here we go. One more insult. Go on.
But Jonathan will ring forever.
Yep.
Spouting.
And he's much more. Well, mate, what's your language? Come on. He's much more interesting than you.
What's your language? Just use the dump button.
Well, no, I don't want to use the dump button, Darren, but I will do if you keep swearing.
Well, what I've said the S word and I've said the B word. That ain't, ain't going to shut down the radio station.
No, but there are rules. But Darren, first of all, there are rules, and secondly,
there are rules. Yeah. I understand that. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. So what?
I'm not an idiot.
Well, okay, mate. You're not an idiot, and I'm an idiot. But you're the one that's been on the phone for an hour.
How the hell has this even come to the situation?
I've got no idea,
I was talking about Stranger Things.
I've got no idea, mate. It's come from nowhere.
It come from you.
Don't get so excited.
Excited? See, you demean everything. You do it all the time. You demean something. When people get excited, they get angry.
Darren, I've not said anything. Well, I don't know what you're going on about.
You started with that attitude, not me.
Okay, fine, but you're still on the phone and you're getting really excited.
Apologise then.
For what?
For having that attitude when somebody's been waiting on for 48 minutes, 49 minutes. I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry for whatever it is that you felt I've done wrong.
You ain't sorry.
Well, no, you've told me to apologise for something, and I've apologised, and you're still not happy, Darren. You're
Okay.
insatiable.
Oh, insatiable. Well, I've never been called that before. But
no. Go and look it up. It's a good word.
Yeah, no, I understand the meaning.
Oh, okay, right,
this
fine.
This is what you do as well. You do that as well. You just go, I'll come out with a big word.
Okay. Well, insatiable's not a big word, Darren. If you think it is, you probably need to go and read some bigger words, mate. It's not a big word.
Well, I could call you a four-letter word, but, I won't. I'll just call off.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, man alive. What happened there? Oh, man alive. 0844 499 1000.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
This one totally goes to my outfit. Shall I try it on?
What was that about? What happened there?
The designer.
It must be French. Actually, it's Yaris. How can I help?
How much is this one?
159.
Just loads of stuff. 0844 499 1000. Imran's on the line. Evening, Imran.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 mate. What you got for us?
Ed, do you know, I'll be honest, I haven't been listening for too long, to be honest, but I love the show.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if you've sort of covered this before, but I just wanted to put it out to people. I just wanted to get your views on whether you think, the Earth is actually a globe or whether we live on a flat plane. Any views on that?
Say that again, Imran, because I thought I heard something that... Say that again.
Do you think the Earth is round, or do you think the Earth is flat?
I think the Earth is round.
Okay. Why do you think it's round? Just because of what you've seen and what you've been told?
No, because because what I've seen, yes.
Okay, so basically you've just seen images that NASA have.
No, that wasn't what I said.
Okay, so what else have you seen that makes you think the Earth is round?
I've seen evidence that the Earth is round.
But are you sure you have?
Yeah. Actual.
No, this is I'm just like sort of chewing the cuddy. So what evidence have you seen that makes you think the Earth is round?
Right, I have sat on a beach.
Yeah.
Right, and looked out to sea.
Yeah.
And you can't see anything else out there. You can just see the horizon. It goes on forever. Right.
Okay.
And I have seen a boat.
Yeah.
Coming from the distance.
Yeah.
Towards me. Now, that boat.
Yeah.
Doesn't start off as a tiny, tiny, fully formed boat where you can see all of it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
What it starts off with is the tip of the funnel of the boat.
Okay.
And as it gets closer, you see a bit more of the funnel. Then you see the two funnels either side that are a bit smaller. And then you can see and as it comes towards you and comes over the curve of the Earth, you see more of it. If the Earth was flat, you would just see a tiny boat where you could see all of it getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, no, I understand what you're saying. So let me ask you this then, yeah. If you had a high enough powered telescope, and you looked at the same boat,
yes,
you would have seen that boat a lot further out. The fact that you think you're just seeing...
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't be able to, because the curvature of the Earth would prevent it. You'd see it in more detail, you'd see it bigger, but you wouldn't see it further out. No.
It's just due to the fact... Don't you think it's due to the fact that just, you're trying to look out to sea, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're you think you're seeing this boat just coming over around the curve of the Earth.
No. I've seen. You can see it, Imran. It's a testable thing that we can all see. I've seen it.
Okay, all right.
So that's my evidence. Now, what do you think? Do you think the Earth is flat?
I mean, I'm getting to thinking that it is. Yeah,
I bet you are. What's your I've given you the evidence that the Earth is round. What's your evidence that the Earth is flat?
Water. Now, I can't honestly believe, that we could have the mass of water on this Earth, and it just sticks to the Earth just due to gravity.
Well, it doesn't stick to the Earth.
Well, so what's holding the water down when the Earth is like so on the south?
But the water goes up. The water goes up in the sky.
We're talking about the water in the sea.
Yes. The water goes up in the sky.
How do you mean it goes up in the sky?
Well, where do you think rain comes from? It's new. Do you think the rain is new water?
No, not at all.
Do you think that rain is new water?
That's obviously just the water that's evaporating up, So I understand that.
So the water goes up. It evaporates up.
Okay, so that's the water. Okay, just on that then,
Yes.
Why doesn't gravity pull that water? Why does gravity allow it to go up?
Because it becomes lighter. Because it evaporates.
It doesn't matter.
It's not the same amount of water. It's not the same amount of water going up that you can see. It evaporates.
But the whole point of gravity, it doesn't matter what the mass of something is.
Yes, it does.
Defeats the whole object.
Well, but some things float, and some things don't float. It doesn't. You about to say defeats the whole object of gravity?
Ian, do you know what, Ian? I'm just trying to think about this.
I know, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good little bit of mental exercise.
Yeah, no, but if you think about it,
Yeah.
why a balloon rises, because of the. I mean, if you fill a balloon with helium, it will rise,
Yeah.
The helium in the balloon is lighter than air, So that's what makes it rise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why doesn't gravity pull that balloon down?
Because it's lighter than air.
But it doesn't make any difference, does it? So
yes, well, obviously it does.
So the reason an apple falls is just because the apple is heavier than air.
Yeah. The balloon is lighter than air, so it goes up.
Yeah.
And the apple is heavier than air.
But then what I'm trying to say to you is why doesn't gravity... gravity affects everything,
Yes.
It doesn't matter about the weight of anything. We're not talking about density here, we're talking about gravity,
Right, yeah.
Why doesn't gravity pull that balloon down?
Because it's because it's lighter than air, so it's floating up. Imran, I have given you a solid, provable piece of science that shows that the Earth is round.
Ian, do you know what? I just think.
And you've not given me one bit of evidence that the Earth is flat, so it's 1-0 to me at the moment.
Okay.
So what have you got? Come on, man. You've been thinking about this. What have you got to prove the Earth is flat?
Okay, so, do you know, Ian, I should have just sort of had some figures in front of me. So the Earth, I mean, I think for every 6 miles, you get a certain amount of drop, I can't remember if it's like a foot or 2 foot or whatever, So why is it then that sometimes you can see stuff that's like, you know, if you stand at a certain point, you can see like 120 miles either side of you.
When have you ever seen 120 miles?
Okay, well, all right. Okay, let's just keep it simple, yeah.
Well, look, I think you are by default, Imran.
No, honestly, mate, just bear with me on this, yeah. So if you stand at Dover, yeah, you can see the coast of France, can't you? 22 miles away.
Okay, well that's
if you stood on
but that's not 120 miles.
No, it's not.
It's 20 odd miles. Yeah.
Okay, So, do you know what? Like I said, Ian, yeah, I haven't got the figures in front of me.
No,
yet,
you haven't.
The curvature of the Earth, yeah, shouldn't allow you to see that.
Why? Well, why? You said why? Why not? You can only see the tippy point of France. I think you see the top of the Eiffel Tower. Is that correct?
You what, sorry?
Carry on.
Yeah. So my argument is that we have just been from the day you're born, yeah.
Well, then why? Hang on a minute. Why can't you? Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. So then, why can't you stand on the top of BT Tower, right, the tallest tower in England?
Yeah.
With the world's most powerful telescope in the world, right? We got the Hubble telescope that can see into space, right?
Yeah.
Point that flat so it's horizontal with the Earth, right? Why can't you see Disneyland? Or why can't you see the Great Wall of China?
Has anyone tried that?
No, because they know the Earth is round, you muppet.
Ian, I'm just telling you to forget about what you've been told.
No, I'm not forgetting about. I've seen it. I've seen the evidence myself.
Okay, so do you think when they design bridges, yeah, and when they design railways, and when they design these tunnels that go for miles and miles and miles through mountains, yeah?
Yes.
Do you think they allow for the curvature of the Earth?
No.
Why not?
Well, because they flatten the surface, and also the curvature of the Earth isn't that great, so you're not going to notice it on a bridge. You're not going to notice it on a bridge.
I'll tell you what, Ian, do me a favour. You know, if you've got a bit of spare time, do you know, I haven't got the figures. I've come unprepared. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I look forward to you coming back. I'm not going to, but I look forward to you coming back. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, the thing about Nigel Farage, right? Saying, I'm quitting because I want my life back. You don't. No. It don't work like that. Well, apparently it does work like that. It shouldn't work like that, though, you oily little SH1T. You've ruined everybody's life. Everybody's life is worse because of what you have done. You have torn this country apart, right? You have completely destroyed this country. Okay, well, the stock market's crashing. My pension is worth nothing now. Thanks a lot. The pound is worth nothing whatsoever. The whole political system is in complete disarray. Families are not talking to each other anymore, and racism is now acceptable in this country. Yeah, it turns out it's acceptable to go up to brown people and tell them we voted them out and they should go home. It's acceptable to go up to Polish war memorials and daub graffiti on it. It's acceptable to stick your fingers up at Muslims because we voted them out, and you say, yeah, I'm going to stop now because I want to get my life back. Up yours, Farage. Up yours, Farage, and I'm giving you the proper, good old-fashioned, 2 English salute, you snivelling little toad, because you've completely destroyed this country. You have destroyed it. You and Boris Johnson, you self-serving egomaniacs, and then just as everything starts to fall apart, you both go, yeah, not going to get involved in this. No, it's nothing to do with us. No. It was nothing to do with us. My work here is done. I've crashed Britain. And you've both just run away. You snivelling little cowards. If you were men, if you were human beings, you would stand now just when everything is at its worst, and you would take all of the bile and the anger that people feel about you, and you would take it on the chin, and you would try and right your mistakes. But neither of you have done that. Neither of you have been able to do that. I'm really angry about those 2 little creeps, because they have totally broken this country. Hey, listen, we voted for Brexit. It's not what I voted for. I kind of think we should do it. I kind of think, yes, it was sold to the people who voted Leave on several lies. There were a lot of lies there. We won't get the £350 million a week to go back in. It wasn't £350 million a week anyway, and that won't go into the NHS. And yes, we won't actually get control of our borders, and it won't significantly reduce immigration and all of this money that has come off the stock market. So it was sold to them on lies, but then everything is voted in on lies. So I kind of agree that we should leave the EU. I don't want to. I think it would be an absolute disaster, but it's what the country voted for. But I do also think that Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage should face the bloody music. You made this happen. You should be standing at the front line as it all falls apart around your ears, and then you should be hauled up in front of the beak and charged with, I don't know, criminal negligence or treason. You can still hang people for treason. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Dave, stay there. Craig's on the line. Yes, Craig.
Yeah, I'm a victim of this EU debate as well.
Go on.
I get paid every week. I basically send an invoice to my boss.
Yes.
Because I'm contracted.
Yes.
And as a joke, on the day of the Brexit, I wrote, "Can you pay me in euros?"
Yeah. Oh.
He took it literally this week. I've had my pay given to me in euros. When euros.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Okay, this section of the show normally gets very, very busy. We've got special guests on. If you've got any computing questions, any technical problems, maybe you're trying to convert files or your printer's not working, or which phone should you buy? Give us a call now, 0844 499 1000. It's Stephen Murdoch, formerly of ISO Solutions, although no longer with the company, and I've actually had an email from the CEO of ISO Solutions. I have to make it clear that Stephen was discharged from that company and has not worked for them for several years. Stephen, great to have you on board.
Great to speak to you again, Ian. Well, it's been a long time.
Are you enjoying... I was wondering, Stephen, the hot weather.
Right.
What's that like for you geeks?
Ian, there's more, let me tell you, there's more to us than just going round talking about, memory cards and PCs and what have you. That's pretty much the same as anyone. I'd like to just pick you up on something. ISO Solutions, we parted amicably. It was nothing on my behalf that happened.
Well,
no.
Legally, now that you've said that, I have to, because they're not here, and you'll understand this, Stephen, because they're not here, legally I have to now read the email.
Is it from James Barraclough?
Barraclough, yes.
Yeah, James Barraclough.
Barraclough.
He can say whatever he wants, and
okay.
He's got to defend himself. I just want to say this.
Well,
you
don't
know
let
as
me.
well as I do,
go on, go on, say it, but just don't libel anyone, and I now have to read the full email from James Barraclough for legal reasons.
Right. Well, Barraclough, Mr. Barraclough knows very well what happened. Now you know, Ian, because I was doing deep clean of your hard drive, if I remember correctly.
And thanks for that. That really helped.
Okay, well, and that all that's forgotten now. I'm not saying anything to anyone, but Mr. Barraclough knows that I was working very hard for people, and yes, I took a certain amount of commission. That was not above and beyond what what was expected of someone in my position. I don't want to say any more than that.
An email from James Barraclough. It says, "Dear Ian, great to be in contact with you. Big fan since the 11 o'clock show, Rise, and of course your show, Thumb Bandits. Right. I feel embarrassed at having to say this, but I noticed that you have had Stephen Murdoch on your various shows," and then in brackets, LBC, Absolute, close brackets, and he puts, and he's recently been on your new show on Talk Radio.
Right.
As you'll be aware, Stephen Murdoch no longer works for ISO Solutions.
That's true enough.
There were irregularities in certain payments.
No.
He was invoicing his clients that were outside of ISO Solutions' remit. Also, and I've got...
I know what you're going to say.
I've got to say it. Also, since he served time in prison for stalking Charlene Spiteri of the rock group Texas.
Well, they're not strictly a rock group, but go on. soft rock, if you want to really define. I mean, some of the later stuff, Red Book, Careful What You Wish For, was slightly softer than what the earlier stuff. But go on, take your point.
He served time in prison, 18 months for stalking lead singer Charlie Spiteri of rock group Texas. We have done everything we can to disassociate ourselves from Mr. Murdoch. This is partly because a lot of his cyber stalking took place while he was on ISO premises.
Yes, that's
and
right.
it was brought to our attention during the court case that he had secretly installed video cameras on the front and back doors of Miss Spiteri's residence in Scotland and London, and he was monitoring those using an ISO computer. Therefore, if he comes on your show again, please make it clear he no longer works with us and has not worked with us for some time. Yours, James Barraclough.
Barraclough is out of order because you know as well as I do that I did work for her, right? Now, all right, she didn't ask me to put cameras on the back door. Okay, I did that, and that was out of my own pocket.
Okay.
I'm just. We're talking about what it's here to talk about.
Well,
I've actually moved now. I'm at James Kilkenny's Computer Solutions.
James Kilkenny's Computer Solutions.
Well, if you're going to be stupid about it,
Tell us about Pokemon Go. What is it? Why has the world gone absolutely nuts for it, Stephen? And how can we get the most out of it?
Right, Pokemon Go is an interactive game. It's available. I've actually served my sentence for that. I just want to get that absolutely quite clear. I want to get that clear.
Let's not dwell on it. Let's not dwell on it. It's fine. You went to prison for stalking, and I believe I'm like Timpsons, the shoe repairers and key cutters.
Right, okay.
They employ a lot of criminals. I am very, very happy to give people a second chance.
Well, first of all, it's quite a strong word. One, stalking. Secondly, criminal. Let's move on. Pokemon Go is an interactive game that's seen very popular at the moment, where people go out and they search for...
You'll often see young men, won't you, walking around looking at their telephones. Before it would have been Tinder or Grindr, but now they're chasing the Pokemon.
Right. So you can pick up there's fictional characters, Squirtle, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Weedle. These are some of the fun characters that you can pick up. It's all the rage. There's been a lot of worry about people wandering into roads, children not concentrating on where they're going. I've done it myself. I've knocked into something, knocked into a man up on Hampstead Heath. A bit of a minor misunderstanding. I was purely looking for Pokemons. Now, what I will say to you
With your trousers undone?
No. It's very warm. It's warm at the moment. You said that yourself. I was up there and I was enjoying Pokemon Go like anyone would.
Yeah, on Hampstead Heath.
Yes, and a man came up and said...
At night time.
I misunderstood what he said. He said, "You want a Pokemon?" And I didn't really understand what he said. I thought he was into the same sort of gaming as I was.
There's a story in the papers today. There's a story.
Bulbasaur.
There's a story every day about the Pokemon, it seems.
Yes.
Today's one is the Pokesessionals. You heard about this?
Go on.
Pros paid £40 an hour to catch Pokemon. And the thing is, as you know, Stephen, you got to catch them all.
Can I just get something straight? When Mr. Barraclough got in touch with you, how long ago was this? Was this recent? Because I've had dealings with him of late, and I'm not going to have it.
This was after the last time you came on, about a month ago.
So I didn't do 18 months.
Okay.
There's a certain amount in remand that I served, and it was nowhere near 18 months. But
Listen, Stephen, that is fine. I just had to read that for legal reasons, because I don't want to get sued, and I don't want you to get sued.
You can tell him if he writes back.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't want you to get sued, so I'm just doing that, and that is fine. And that is what is Barry Kilkenny?
Yes, Kilkenny.
Okay.
I was going to do a little what we always say. If people, computer nerds, as you referred to them, want some help with the computer, and they say, "I'm going to Kilkenny," I would say, "Why? What's he done?"
Okay,
which is our good. Little.
That's that cartoon, isn't it?
It's a joke. Yeah.
We got Star on the line. Star's got a question for you. Star, you're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Hello. The question is, I've had my laptop for about 7 years now.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's just started when I turn it on, it'll be on for about 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden it just switches off for no reason.
Right. Are you pressing a button? Sorry, if I can finish. If you're pressing a button in the top right-hand corner that looks like a sort of half a moon with a thing in the middle, that's the off button.
No,
I'm not that will turn it off.
No.
Start. If you try not to speak over Stephen, he's a very wise man, and it's just a little bit rude. Go on, Stephen. Say that again. Sorry.
So, are you charging it? You have to charge a device that if it's not directly powered, if it's not, you want to plug it into a socket, you can charge it and you can use it remotely. Are you doing that, charging it?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll charge it up fully, and then before I actually use it, I unplug it. And then use the laptop without the charger in. Right. Now, I've took it to somebody, and they looked at it, and they turned around and said that the reason why it was doing that was because it was old, it had never been cleaned, and he said that he cleaned it out for me, and it should work fine.
How did he clean it?
I don't know. All I know is he opened it up and cleaned it. That's all I know.
Sorry? Sorry?
He up and cleaned it.
Sorry, Star, say that again.
All I know is he said he opened it up and cleaned it. That's all he said.
Just cleaned it.
He opened it up and cleaned it. I mean, was he cleaning the actual software, or was he physically cleaning it with, some sort of liquid, fairy liquid or something? Because you must not do that.
No, he used like a vacuum type thing.
What's the question, Star? Because we've got a lot of people want to talk to...
a vacuum?
Yeah. Well, all I want to know is because he said that was the problem. But it's still doing it, and I asked somebody else, and they said that it was the heat sink on the board. I put new paste on it, and it's still doing it. Huh? Could you think of anything else that it could be wrong with it? Because I've changed the battery; it's a brand new battery in it, and it's still doing it.
Oh, she's enough. Go on, Stephen.
Have you tried turning it off at the wall, then turning it on again?
Yep, tried that. It's an actual.
But have you? But Star, is it? Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, tried that.
Well, why don't you try that again?
I mean, with all due respect, Star, I'm a specialist in VPN, virtual private network, migration cloud-based systems. I don't know. I can't really speak about the battery on your. What make is it?
It's an Acer Aspire.
No, you should have bought a better computer.
No. You don't buy anything like
Star, that. I hope that helps.
Good luck.
Good luck, Star. Hope that helps. Let's.
No, I can't really. I mean, the thing is, without actually seeing that, I don't know. She's been to someone who sucked it off with a vacuum cleaner. I don't know that. I mean, when people talk about cleaning your PC, it's a question of cleaning the software. It's not literally cleaning it with, soap and water or vacuum cleaner.
Let's go to Jamie. Jamie, you're through to Stephen Murdoch. What would you like to ask him?
Hi, Stephen. How you doing?
Hello, not too bad.
I'm having I've got a computer and I'm having a problem with it.
Well, that's a start.
So it's like I'm having a problem with my floppy. So I'm putting it in, and then it's coming out again.
Yeah, I know.
I'm putting it in, and it's coming out again, and and it starts making a screaming noise, and then just ignores me.
Is this a euphemism? Because then you got a floppy that you're trying to put in and out. Update your jokes. No one's used a floppy.
It's a really old computer.
I've cut him off, Stephen. I've cut him off.
An idiot.
I'm not having.
Look, I'm here. Look, with all due respect.
Yeah, I've cut him off.
What I'm doing, Will Kilkenny, is we offer servicing options for businesses, ad hoc basis, cost-effective workshop repairs, remote support. I can't entertain people who are going to talk about the floppies. I know what he's saying.
He's talking about a floppy.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Go on.
Floppy penis, isn't he?
Yes, that's what he's talking about. I know. Well, look, incidentally, don't stick one of those in your hard drive. Hello?
Very dusty in this studio. Right, let's go to
don't go at it with a vacuum.
No.
Like a Star.
Manny, you're through to Stephen Murdoch. What would you like to ask him, Manny? And just to warn you, Stephen, Manny's blind.
I want to talk to you.
I'm so sorry. Go on. Well, he seems quite chipper about it.
I want to talk to you. Ian, I didn't want to talk to you.
Oh, well, let's
I got no interest in computers.
Have you?
All
Well,
right,
I've got a question, Stephen. Because Manny is blind. What special computers are there out there for people who can't see nothing?
Well, I think, in case you notice, you can feel the keys and you press them down the same as anything. I mean, I touch type. Obviously, I can see things.
No, not you, but I'm talking about Manny, who can't see things.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
You're coughing.
Hello? Question.
Manny, you may be blind, but manners maketh the Manny.
You got emphysema as well.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. You're deaf as well.
I'll give you a slap in the face.
What?
You heard? I'll give you a slap in the face.
I'm slapping a face.
I'll slap your bloody face. I might be blind.
Oh, no.
I could cut your face.
This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, Ian. You get someone on with breathing problems, you can't hear, you can't see. I've got I feel very sorry for you, Manny, but you're being rude to me now. I'm sorry.
I've cut him off now. Manny's gone.
God.
Right, let's see. Who's this on line 9? Hello?
Are you a Manny or are you a Mousy?
Manny's gone now. Who's this on...
You bird.
Sorry?
What?
You bird.
Who is this?
You ponce.
Who is this caller?
Christ's sake! What's going on? Hello, is that Manny again?
No, Manny's been cut off.
Well, who's that?
You ponce.
Does anyone want any help with the computer or not?
You know.
Manny, I've cut you off.
That? Manny, go away.
Manny, put the phone down, please. If you can't see how to do it, get someone to help.
I wouldn't trust you with a computer, man. Put the phone down.
Put the phone down, Manny.
But perhaps we should do this another day. This is absolutely ridiculous.
No, hang on. We can. Hang on a second. Let's try this one. We've got Rob. Rob, you're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Hi, Steve. You all right?
Yes, fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, Steve. I've got a little bit of a question in regards to the Pokemon Go thing. Obviously, that's based on 90s nostalgia.
Right.
I'm just wondering if you've got any insights onto any other games. I think a Hail and Pace app would be really great for Nintendo. Have you got any thoughts or insights on that?
Well, it's funny you say that because when we started this conversation, you were saying we're nerds in the heat. I would like to introduce a game which is all about the fun side of computers. I like to think that, putting the fun back into computing. That doesn't work, but putting the fun back in. I've actually written a few jokes that appertain to technology. What have I got here? Did you hear about the guy who got caught in the rain with his laptop? Luckily, he had a Mac.
Just say that again.
Oh, sorry,
Stephen.
Hold on,
Was that the joke?
Well, all right. How many computer programmers does it take to change a light bulb? 2, 1 to change a light bulb, the other to discuss how much better the GTX 180 graphics card.
That is good. Have you considered taking this to Edinburgh, Stephen?
Well, that's what I'm sort of thinking. You mentioned the Hail and Pace, I think you're probably having a joke with me, but there's no reason why computers can't be fun. Just trying to, maybe an app that's for nerds, if you want, for want of a better word, people who see the comedy in technology.
Yeah, Rob, you're into computers. What do you use computers for primarily?
Well, I put Poke into the app thing, and I don't think I've got the same app that maybe the rest of the people have got.
Yeah, that's another double entendre, isn't it?
It's basically what happens is I see the animal. Well, it's like beaver, and I've got to try touch the beaver. I don't. It's weird. It's not Pokemon.
I think I've probably had enough of this now.
It's like
absolutely
a beaver.
Ridiculous.
It's quite.
Go away.
I'm really sorry, Stephen. Can I just?
Is there anyone who wants? No. I can actually offer.
Hang on a second, right? Let me just speak to the listener, right? I come in every night and do this show for you. I get paid quite well, but I come in every night and do this show for you. And I put my neck on the line, dear listener, to try and provide you with not only stuff that's funny and crazy and, anarchic, what you expect, but also stuff. How much do you charge an hour, Stephen? If I were to bring a computer to you, how much would you charge me an hour? Legitimately, not the bit on top.
No, very, very reasonably. It's probably £90 an hour.
£90 an hour plus VAT, right? You're getting this guy for free. For free. 90 quid. I'm not finished.
I don't want to be so heavy-handed.
No, I do, Stephen.
I don't see that.
I do. They are treating you. This guy has been to college. He's worked. He's done a little bit of bird. We're all close to being in prison, and you have got free computer advice, and you're phoning up to. I know what a beaver is. It's a vagina.
Yeah, it's pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic.
Let's try.
Let's try one more.
Let's try one more. Line 1, you're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, we since the Pokemon Go app come out, we've had a lot of children.
Here we go. At last. At last. Away we go. At last. Pokemon Go. Yes.
Sorry, yeah, we've had a lot of children gathered around the house, and I went out there and asked one of them, and they said that it's some kind of official Poke stop outside the house, which is making them gather.
Oh, right.
Now we've had problems. I've had problems in the past with people outside the house, and I have had convictions. I need to be upfront with you. But one of the kids said that the best
You've had what?
method
to be
of
upfront with me? Sorry, just a minute. You've had what to be upfront with me?
Oh, I'm just saying, things have been nasty outside the house before, so I'm trying to be polite.
I think he's a convicted sex offender, Stephen.
Oh no! Go on. What?
So one of the kids had said, I'm best to get the app myself and then go up the street and hang my lure out.
Okay.
Pardon?
Hang my lure out.
So, Stephen, this is a tricky situation because a lot of public places, me and my boys were chasing the Pokemon the other day. There was one in the back garden. We had to leave it. Very specific situation. Joseph is a convicted sex offender. A lot of young people hanging around outside his house. Does he want to put a lure out, I suppose? What can you do, Stephen, to get your house taken off of, A, the Pokemon register, and B, the sex offenders register?
Well, in the first hand, I don't really know. Who puts it out? Is it Nintendo or something?
I don't know. You're the expert.
I don't know about that specifically. All I can do is I would speak to manufacturers. I would say you don't want people outside your house. Secondly, I would try to get yourself on the sex register. And thirdly, I'd stop phoning up and clearly taking a mickey out of me. I've had enough of this.
Well, Stephen...
I'm not an idiot.
Well, Stephen... just remind us of the company you work for again, in case anyone wants to get...
Kenny, Computer Solutions, Hampshire.
Okay. I'm going to be up in Scotland next month.
Right.
Coming up to Scotland for the festival.
Right, okay. Okay.
And I was wondering if you'd like to meet for a quick drink.
I don't think so. Thank you.
Why?
I think this has probably been a bit of a waste of time. But thank you very much.
Really? No, I'm coming up to Edinburgh for the festival.
I've probably had enough now. I've got to have an early night. I'm going to a conference tomorrow. I spoke to you in good faith. I spoke to your producer who assured me there'd be no messing around.
It's not my fault the callers have been idiots.
What happens is, you get on here, you have a message from James Barraclough accusing me of doing time. I did nowhere near 18 months. That was a misunderstanding. I happen to love Charlene's material, and I love her work more than anything. You get a variety of quacks on here, freaks, making jokes about their lures hanging out, and soft, floppy drives and Zenas. And I think it's completely out of order, and I'm not going to do it again. So thank you very much. Goodbye.
Okay, Stephen. Thank you. Stephen?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you got... so that's can we look forward to speaking to you next month?
No.
Okay.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Talk Radio. Digital debate for the UK.
Pick up your phone and talk radio.
We'll get you talking.